Welcome to episode 94, the current Backloggers. The date is February 19th. I'm your host, KCP, along with my good friend and co-host, Wacky Wet Ryan.
Don't call me that. What's up, bud? Thanks for blowing out my eardrum right to start off the whole cast. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. I see you're in a good mood tonight.
I'm in a great mood.
It'll be good for a
Anytime I'm in your presence, it's gonna be a good night.
Hey, I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
You just went straight serial killer mode with your eyes there. I don't know how well they can see it.
It's only slightly sarcastic.
No, you don't mean that.
Huh.
So, what have you been up to?
Oh, what have I been up to? In my notes here, I haven't put anything down.
Okay.
So
This is always good with you.
doesn't mean I haven't been up to nothing though.
Oh, I know. That's why it's good.
Been very busy.
Okay.
Very busy.
All right.
What about you? just joking. Saturday, spent the whole day, pretty much the whole day with grandparents, with my grandma and her husband Bob, the guy who fell I spoke about last week.
Yep.
It was rough. He's doing better now. He's slowly every day getting a little better, but he broke his arm, broke his leg. So, it's hard for my grandma to try and take care of him. So went there out Saturday and then got some mobility aid stuff, got him a wheelchair, got him a hospital bed installed, got him a new recliner that lifts you up and helps you stand up. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I got to test it out. It was pretty cool, actually. I think I need one.
I don't think you do, and I don't think they're cheap either.
It was like $1,500.
I mean, not cheap for something you don't need.
Yeah, but maybe when I'm an old man, it'd be nice to have.
Yeah, not just mentally old, but physically.
Yeah, physically too. So did that Saturday. A lot of plumbing issues. I'm practically a plumber now.
Yeah.
Yep. What? You asked what I'm up to, so I'm up to, bud.
Yeah, no, I like it.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like you do.
No, I do.
So replaced faucet in my mom's bathroom.
Uh-huh.
And then my dad called. He said, "Hey, can you help me with my kitchen sink? It's leaking. I need to replace it." I was like, "What, am I a plumber?" So went over to help him with that. And then got home and realized that the faucet in our first floor bathroom was leaking. And then that was the whole thing. I won't go into details. It's just plumbing stuff. It only took 3 trips to Home Depot, but I got it done.
Our toilet has been having issues flushing.
Uh-huh.
You ready to get on your third job?
I don't do toilets.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
No, sorry, just faucets. Yeah, so did that Sunday. Just been busy doing family stuff, all that. And then work, of course. And this podcast.
There you go.
So,
Sounds like a good week.
great week.
Anything else random you want to talk about before we get into what I've been up to?
Somebody's car in your parking lot out here is definitely leaking gasoline because it just smelled like straight up gas outside.
So, I guess, you won't hear this. I was going to say if you never see this episode, you know why, but you won't even know that. We'll just be gone, you won't even know this happened.
I don't think it's that bad.
I mean, if it's
Maybe.
a gas leak, maybe it'll lead to that car blowing up and it'll lead all the way to the house and then we're dead before you know it.
I don't think it's like the games where everything just blows up immediately.
It is.
Okay.
My friend once told me it's impossible for a car to blow up.
How'd that work out for him?
Oh, it wasn't. I'm not even talking about that.
Okay.
One of my friends literally argued that cars can't blow up. I get it's not like movies like you were saying. I'm being dramatic. But I was like, they can't blow up. And he's like, no, they literally can't blow up. All right.
Define blow up, I guess.
That's all you want to talk about, though? The gas in my parking lot?
Made brownies.
You did make brownies.
They were like a 3 out of 7, unfortunately.
Very normal rating system.
Yeah. I'll be anxious to hear your feedback after the show.
Yeah, we'll get into it when we do corrections, question, and feedback.
Brownies? Oh, you mean next week? Right?
I'm joking about this week, but yeah, we can.
Okay.
If you want me not to tell you till next week.
No. I need to know before then.
So the audience could hear it.
I have a feeling you're not going to like them.
Okay. Well, you're not even too high on them. So.
I know.
I mean, the classic 3 out of 7.
Classic.
All right. Well, I've been doing normal working as well. I don't know if I talked on here about how I started going back to physical therapy. I know I was talking about my journey of physical therapy on here before. So some of this might be redundant, but I just thought I'd share some funny things I've learned. I think I told you some of these in person as well. But my physical therapist was stretching out my legs, and he said, did you ever realize that one of your legs is much longer than the other?
I think you told me about that.
That's why I said I might have told you about some of this, but I don't think I said on here if I did. I said, no, I didn't. And he said, yeah, it's significant. Like, put your knees up. So my knees were like bent up, and he rested his arm on my knees. And see, look, if I put it flat, this one basically goes to a roller coaster to your other knee. I'm like, wow, it's like you're bullying me for this right now. And he's like, it's so uneven that you could go to a foot specialist and they'll get you an insert in one shoe, and that way it'd prop it up and make you even. I was like, is this like a roast or what's happening right now?
This is like almost like a Yo Mama joke. Your mama's so uneven. The kid's rider in the parking lot is a roller coaster.
Shit. He didn't tell me this all at once. I'm just giving it to you guys at once. Yeah. He did say all that at once, but these other things. Later, I was doing a cat cow. You know what that is?
A cow?
Cow. Like,
cow. Oh, yeah. Like a cow lick.
Yeah. So I was sinking my stomach in, arching my back up. And I was like, am I doing this right? Because I feel like my back is not going up really at all. When yours does it, you're like, like hunchback.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, you're doing it perfectly, actually. It's just you have an extremely flat spine. All right.
I feel like he's the most judgmental physical therapist ever.
And I looked it up, and that's not a great thing in a lot of negativities, but...
The flat spine?
Yeah.
Is that like a smooth brain?
Anyways, I asked him, I played dumb, I was like, what does that mean? I know what it means literally, but what does it mean as far as health and function? Yeah. And he's like, oh, it doesn't... I wouldn't worry about it. It doesn't mean anything. Just everybody is different, so nothing to be concerned about.
But you found otherwise online?
Yeah, not like I had to search hard either. You search, what does it mean to have a flat spine? You going for it?
Yeah, I'll
All
go
right.
that way.
And then on the plus side, the last time I was at physical therapy, I go 2 times a week. Wednesdays are way more relaxed because near closing time, there's only a couple people there. Fridays, I go as well. It's a lot more busy. But on Wednesdays, like I said, it's slow. This last Wednesday, it was a few physical therapists working, and then just me, and this sounds like a lead up to something else, but it's not. Me and one other girl, and her kid was there. And I'm guessing because they saw the kid was there, but little did they know it was for me. They put on nothing but Taylor Swift playlist the whole time the kid was there. Usually it's like generic. It's actually good music, but it's like popular music that they play. Yeah. But this is literally just a Taylor Swift playlist.
And you were loving every second of it.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, can we do this every week?
The physical therapist was bonding with her and like being nice, but I feel like in his head he's like, God, fucking hour of this. But little did you know, I was the one who loved it more than anyone there.
Yeah. That's good stuff.
Did you want to talk about the flat spine, or did you not find anything?
No, it's mainly just a lot of medical words that I didn't want to read out loud.
Okay, I gotcha.
But it didn't look good.
No, it sure doesn't. The only other thing I've been up to, aside from the stuff that will come up naturally in the show, we went to Vic's Pizza, a fantastic pizza place, one of the best in Central Ohio, for Danielle's dad's birthday. It was a good time. Got some awesome pizza. I've never gotten a bad pizza at this place either, which is not something you can say about even really good pizza places.
Yeah. I've never heard of it.
You've been there twice. The first time you loved it. The second time you said it's disgusting.
What?
And in between there, you said you've never been there. Now we got it on video.
Oh, this is the one that out in Reynoldsburg?
Yeah.
Oh, that one was so bad.
I've never heard of it.
I don't know why the name just eludes me every time I hear it. It's so generic.
I mean, I feel like you would like it. It sounds so similar to something else. I guess also I was up to something else right before this. I recorded episode 3 of the Halo podcast me and Cal are doing.
That's popping off, man.
It is. Isn't
You've
that
seen
crazy?
like 80, 90 views.
It's the first one's over 200. And
Over 200?
The second one's over 100.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know where it's coming from. I'm not complaining, but keep
Probably
it
because
up.
nobody's interested in the show, so it's just like nobody's doing anything on it.
Somebody's interested in it. They're trying to find additional content, you know?
I mean, I guess maybe it's just not mainstream enough for real podcasters to podcast about.
I don't know. It's a top shelf.
Maybe it's Cal. Maybe it's Cal.
Maybe it is Cal.
He's a podcast superstar.
He does do his own podcast.
Does he?
Yeah, I inspired him to, he said. Oh, is it see-through?
Yeah. I was like, oh, it's green.
So we just recorded episode 3 of that. Like Ryan said, the first 2 are doing really well, so let's keep it up.
Check it out.
Third one will be up tomorrow. So look forward to that. And as I said before, let's just, I don't know if you saw, we also got to 50 subscribers again.
I know, I saw that. I was going to say, you're not shadow banned anymore. Or whatever happened.
Yeah, they see that it's clear they were holding us down because those Halo's views went right up.
237 on the first one, 135 on the second.
Yeah, let's keep it going.
Only 38 in our last podcast. But it's 2 more than the one before that. So we're trending up.
And those were the only 2 you did, right? Like on your comeback.
No, I think I had 3.
Right?
No, the Asian child one was with Cody.
And what is that? Do you have more views than his?
Yeah, way more. He only had 23 and then 22. So
you're hired.
Thank you.
Yep.
Sorry, Cody. You just got fired, I guess.
So let's keep that up. Let's get it to 100 tonight, you know? 100 shares.
100 shares?
Yeah. I mean, 100 subscribers. I said shares.
I was like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, you want people
share 100 times too?
Do that too.
But
I don't actually. I don't want anybody to know I'm on this.
I'll keep tagging you.
Okay.
So, yeah, let's do that. Ryan, I think you need to lower your expectations a little on the amount of likes for the last episode.
All right, I'll do 980.
980. I was thinking 100.
No.
We're not in the double digits yet.
No. Way too much.
All right, 980?
Yep.
Okay.
All
Oddly specific again.
Finally answer.
All right. Well, let's get that video up as high as we can. Like I said, feel free to make as many YouTube accounts as you want.
Don't do that. You'll get a shadow banned again.
You probably already have multiple Google accounts. Same thing. Just bring it on over. Might as well subscribe while you're there. We're on every major podcast service. Give us a review. Ryan still doesn't know how to
couldn't figure it out. I tried.
You got to have me show you. You didn't remind me.
Well, remind me.
Okay. Anything you want to talk about from the weeks before that you forgot? Anything you want to speak farther on?
No.
No?
No.
Why do you sound so sad about that?
I don't know.
All right.
Okay.
I just have one thing.
Okay.
And that is Argyle, the movie I mentioned that's very Kingsman-like.
Oh, yeah. I think I watched that trailer.
What did you think of the trailer?
I don't have any notes on it, so maybe I didn't. I watched the If and Fallout.
Yeah, you did? All right.
Let me look at the Argyle. Let me see. Well, not look at it, but let me see if it's on my watched.
All right. Well, the things I didn't mention about Argyle has an awesome cast led by Sam Rockwell, which I think is the most underrated. I'm not saying he's the best. He's a very good actor, but I think the most underrated actor right now. He's awesome in one of my all-time favorite movies called Moon, which check out if you haven't seen it. The cast is overall really good, though. Couple what the kids call baddies in it. So good to look at, you know what I'm saying? Not like enemies. They're like baddies, you know what I'm saying?
Baddies. I hear you.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
But yeah, see Argyle because it's bombing and it doesn't deserve it.
Have you seen it?
I have seen it.
Oh, this is old, 4 months ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's awesome.
For some reason, I remember. I haven't seen this. I was just looking at the trailer a little bit, but for some reason, I remember. I don't know if we talked about it and you told me to watch it.
We did last week.
Was it last week?
Yeah.
I'll add it to my list here. I'll watch it for next week.
Okay.
Maybe I'll watch the whole thing. Probably not.
I like how that's a feat. Maybe I'll watch the movie.
Well, it's in the theater still, right?
Yes, that's even more crazy
So
than when you
it's-
watch the whole thing.
It's even harder to watch because that
No,
means
you
I have
just go
to
to the
dedicate
theater.
time to go somewhere.
Yeah, I know, but that's a crazy thing that you would do that and then not see all of it.
Well, yeah.
Are you high?
No.
What does brownies have in them?
Nothing.
That's why you're so curious. I'm not
Just-
even trying them.
Just cocoa.
Just Coke?
Cocoa powder,
Oh, I
sugar,
gotcha.
butter.
See Argyle. It's awesome. Great cast. It's bombing. It doesn't deserve it. Some of the coolest shots I've seen in a movie in a while. My favorite movie of the year so far. Let's get into corrections, question, and feedback. You got anything?
I do.
Let's hear it.
The camera last week was very bad.
How so?
It was like fuzzy, out of focus.
Different than normal?
Yeah.
Well, let us know this episode. What you
Okay.
think, if it's any better.
Also, I lied about never having heard about Skylanders.
Okay.
I don't know why I said that last time. I
You-
definitely have because Jeff was obsessed with them at the theater. I remember he brought him in and was showing him off. He's like, check out this guy.
He liked Disney Infinity more, but yeah. But
Was
same
it?
thing.
Yes. So anyways, yeah.
Yeah, that was a phenomenon when it was big, so that's why I was like, I don't know. I never even played it. I know what it is.
Yeah. Who else was into it big? Was it Sarah? I don't know,
Probably. She had
somebody
kids. I
else.
feel like it
Yeah.
was rare the kids at that time weren't in it.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else?
That's all I had.
All right.
I didn't see any feedbacking in the comments.
Me either besides this one from...
Oh, party foul.
That's where I got the cushion. Besides this one from Danielle. Ryan needs to watch all the Harry Potters
Oh.
and
yeah.
nail the Dobby voice before the last guest appearance, which you're officially on now, so I'm also just going to leave the pop like this and just drink it.
What do you
like
mean?
nothing
I'm
happened.
on.
You're hired, remember? You're not a guest.
His last guest appearance.
Yeah.
Oh. Like
Yeah.
this is. I thought you were saying this was my last guest appearance.
No, she said you need to watch it for your last
But you're
guest
saying this
appearance.
is my last guest appearance as a guest.
Yeah.
No, I'm just the host, co-host.
What co-host? Yeah, I'm the host.
I feel like
What's the
Cody's
most?
gonna think this is real.
No, I've done this dumb joke too many times. He
Okay.
knows.
Don't break his heart. Feedback. Oh, Danielle also said she tried the pumpkin frosty and enjoyed it. But I don't think that's true.
Let's hear your feedback on her enjoying it.
I told her I can still taste it if I think hard enough. It's like one of those tastes that's so vividly bad, you can just like just think of it, and then the color of it pops in my head like that artificial orange, and then the taste of the so bad.
Let me say a couple things.
Yeah.
You said the taste of the artificial orange is just so bad. Maybe we
Mhm.
can curb that when we go create our video of trying a more subtle orange with a dreamsicle.
Yes,
And that can come to your mind. And it's literally the same place.
that'll
everything.
be way better. Hopefully.
And then
Fingers
additionally,
crossed.
I find it funny that you remember that strongly because I'm the same way, but with good tasting things. I can only think of a couple bad things, and you know how picky I am. I can only think a couple bad things I can like taste in my mind. One of
Mhm.
them being, I don't think you were there for this when we went Black Friday shopping. Cody remembers the story. Danielle does. Anybody who's there remembers it.
I haven't been many times with you.
Yeah, that's why I don't think you were there. We're at Steak and Shake, our old stomping grounds,
Mm-hmm.
and we should go back there. Three
Shithole.
amigos, and the whole group. Let's make it happen. But anyways, we were doing the ever flavor beans. Speaking of Harry Potter, yeah. So,
Oh, I was there for this.
you sure?
Yeah, your sister brought him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I got one that was either banana or that technically wasn't Harry Potter, but that's
Mhm.
the one everybody knows because it was Minions. Because I got Minion fart.
Mm-hmm.
And I started gagging at the table, and I ran in the bathroom, and it was so bad that even like half hour later, when I was breathing, I could taste it coming back out, and I was, this is fucking, I don't know where,
I remember this.
I don't think I want to know where they get these flavors from to make it that disgusting,
Yeah.
because it's remarkable how close and disgusting they are.
Yeah.
It's somehow closer, they do a good job at getting actual flavors like accurate, but they somehow get the bad ones more accurate, which is probably a little concerning. Any other corrections, questions, or feedback?
Nope.
All right, well, you can send those to currentbackloggers@gmail.com. and we can get into the news. We got a little bit of news this week. Before we get there, did you figure out about pickups? What order they were in?
Yeah, so I was wrong. Anyways,
okay.
let's keep on going.
There's a correction.
Lots of news this week.
Oh, a lot. Okay.
A lot. So for those of you stat nerds out there, I have to read 4,158 words over the next probably hour and a half. So
here's a message I got for Ryan as we're discussing tonight's episode. It's if you know Ryan, this is the most Ryan message ever. He said he's complaining about how much news this is and how long it's going to take. Let's have our phones on at least on silent. Throwback.
That was a good one.
But he messaged me and said, I did the math. If I do nothing other than read all these condensed versions of the news articles, I'll be reading for a half hour straight. And then I said, well, I just said that's the most Ryan thing ever.
Slight correction. It's closer to like 23 minutes, but
Jesus, changed again. You told me 22 minutes before he sat down.
22, 23, whatever. I over-exaggerated a little bit.
No, that's also not like you.
Not at all. Alrighty. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Buckle your seatbelts.
I'm ready for Taylor Swift.
Get a nice cup of coffee, cup of joe, a beverage of your choice, maybe a cheap $5 bottle of wine.
Maybe half
that I brought
Dr. Pepper
Danielle.
She spilled it.
Yep. And let's get going here.
Let's do it.
So we're going to start out here with a bunch of Xbox.
There you go. I got your back.
Thank you. We're going to start out here with a bunch of Xbox news. Your favorite four-letter word? Xbox.
Yep.
Yes. First article comes from The Verge. Microsoft 4 exclusive shot. Games are coming to PS5 and Nintendo Switch. So really, I say we're starting with Xbox, but really it's not really Xbox. So it's halfway there. I almost put this in the agnostic section.
This is, of course, going off of what we talked about the past couple weeks. Potentially the biggest news in gaming in a long time.
Yeah, this probably has something to do with the podcast.
Yeah,
I didn't watch the podcast.
This is where the article came from, the podcast.
Gotcha. So Microsoft is making significant strategic shift in its gaming business by expanding the availability of Xbox exclusive titles to rival platforms such as the PS5 and Nintendo Switch. The move reflects a broader vision to extend the reach of Xbox games beyond the company's own consoles, signaling a departure from the traditional model of platform exclusivity. I always have trouble with that word.
Oh, me too. It's okay.
Phil Spencer, CEO of Microsoft Gaming, confirmed this decision, stating that 4 games will be made available on other consoles. Among these titles are community-driven and smaller-scale games like Hi-Fi Rush, Pentiment, Sea of Thieves, and Grounded. While Spencer acknowledges that exclusive games have been a cornerstone of the gaming industry, he believes that their significance will diminish over the next decade, emphasizing the importance of reaching broader audiences. Despite this shift, Spencer clarified that the majority of upcoming titles, such as Starfield and Indiana Jones, are not part of the initial lineup for the platform release, multi-platform release. However, he did not rule out the possibility of these games being made available on rival platforms in the future. Microsoft sees this expansion as an opportunity to learn and evolve its gaming ecosystems, aligning with its, quote, Xbox Everywhere vision. The company aims to leverage the success of its gaming business, which recently surpassed the Windows division in size, to grow its franchise and engage a wider audience. The decision to launch Xbox exclusives on other platforms is driven by Microsoft's long-term growth strategy for its gaming division. Spencer acknowledges concerns from fans like Casey regarding the future of Xbox hardware, but seeks to reassure them with hints of upcoming developments, including next-gen consoles and potential hardware expansions such as a handheld device. Man, I feel like Sony and Xbox are just like, they're trying to like be the same people right now.
I'd say same but different. Handheld definitely the same.
Yeah, and the already jumping to the next generation.
Yeah.
And so I feel like this generation just started.
Mm-hmm. Is there more? I don't want to cut you off.
No, that was...
Okay. What do you think about this?
I don't... Like I said, I don't really think exclusivity is a good thing for the the gaming ecosystem as a whole, but I know you like it because you think Xbox is good.
Well, more, I have every
Nailed it.
system, so that's not it. More so that I think that creates competition, which I think is good. And I think we've seen with games that don't do that, how people endlessly hate on them and say they never innovate and never grow or do anything else. Like everybody complains about, I think I use it as an example, everybody complains about Madden because nobody can make NFL games. They could starting like a year ago or something, but still, Madden has such a stranglehold now that it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But before that, nobody could do anything, and that's why it doesn't matter. I don't think they put out games nearly as bad as people said, but they also could put out whatever they want, and people would buy it because the NFL is so big and Madden's so well known that they don't have to do much to it. And that's just an example. I think you could look at a lot of different things to see that happening. And then on a more personal thing, it's not because I'm an Xbox fan. I know you're joking, but
Yeah.
I think part of it isn't a fanboy thing. I think it's weird when people don't feel that way if you've had a connection to something for so long. Like I've always liked every company as far as the products they make. Not like I love these companies. But I definitely leaned Nintendo growing up. That was my main one up until the GameCube. I think I talked about it. Bought the GameCube on launch day. Was so excited. I went to my friend Bazooka's house, and his friend was there, and he brought over an Xbox. And it's hard thinking about it now because Xbox is right in the thick of the systems with PlayStation and Nintendo. By the time everybody mocked it because they're like, what is Microsoft doing? They don't know anything about games. And then, like I said, it's totally different now, the landscape. But I remember the first time I held an Xbox controller is to play Halo.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I made a
Me
mistake.
too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
See? Look at that. And I was like, I made a mistake. I shouldn't have bought a GameCube. And I was like, man, what the hell is this? And it was so magical. And I feel like it seems weird to me that even if I get that people think it's odd that people like back up companies and that kind of thing, but I feel like emotional connections and memories definitely factor into things, and thinking about those not being there or being completely different, I feel like that goes against human nature. But I'm interested to see. I think I watched the podcast when it was on. It's also stretched called a podcast because it was
20 minutes.
Yeah, and highly, highly produced. But yeah, I was going to say 20 minutes. And they did a good job of hitting the bullet points, but definitely did the thing that they've struggled with talking in circles and going against things they just said.
And just going surface deep.
Yeah. And so it's definitely not what the rumors spiraled out of control to be to every big Xbox game. It's for that kind of makes sense if you're going to do this. And I think Phil Spencer said this in the podcast, and I feel like this is something that I've talked about and I could see this, but I don't think this is what they're actually doing. He said that he knows that a lot of people will see this as Xbox trying to get out of it and giving other systems to games. But he doesn't see it that way. He sees it as a marketing tool to give older games and games that have no more potential or growth to other systems, and then they'll see what they're missing and want to get Xboxes, which I think makes sense in theory. They also said that these are the 4 games, and they don't want people making assumptions that just because these 4 games came, then that means every Xbox game is going to come. But then they also, even the same podcast, said that that is what it is for now, and they want to see how this happen or what happens here and plan from there. So that again tells me that these rumors that were spiraling out of control or probably have also something connected to them that's all they have planned for now. And then if it works, a lot of people are buying Xboxes because of it, then they'll probably not release too many games. They'll keep it limited like that. But if it becomes clear that nobody's buying Xbox and these games are getting bought up, that they're going to release more games on the other systems.
Definitely.
Yeah, so I feel like they put it out to try and cool people's madness, but I think if you just listen, like you said, surface level, you're like, well, that's not a big deal. It's 4 games. But if you really listen to what they said and use common sense around it too, that it's probably a lot more than that eventually. And he even says in there, I think you said it, maybe you didn't. I've just heard this so many times about people talking about this now, that this is the way that the gaming industry is going, and he sees less exclusives, and he thinks 10 years from now that's not really going to be a thing, which I definitely, like I said, that's why I think Xbox probably taking the smartest decision here, because I think long term it is going to be all these things are bound to be services because there's not going to be consoles forever.
Yeah.
So, well, I don't know. Nintendo's a hard one because they're so stubborn and they do whatever they want, and it's also successful.
Yeah, they're
so
very successful at what they do.
Yeah, so I can see 15 years from now, everything's in the cloud, and Nintendo just releases a box, and cause it's hard to imagine Halo on PlayStation. It's hard to imagine God of War or Last of Us on Xbox, but it seems impossible to imagine Mario on Xbox or PlayStation. I just don't know if it'll ever happen. And a lot of people are talking about if Xbox is out of this and somebody's going to jump in, which I don't think so, but people are worried about Xbox being a corporation or Microsoft. But I mean, if somebody really jumps in, I feel like the only realistic ones are Google and Apple. I don't think either of them will anyways, or Valve, but I think they've kind of niche their own thing. I don't think they would do that. I think those are the only realistic possible ones. I don't think it'll happen, but a lot of people do. And if they're worried about Microsoft being too big and then one of them comes in, I think you got a pretty big company that are waiting.
Well, I can go into this next article. It kind of touches on a lot of this too.
Okay, go for it.
Phil Spencer on Helldivers 2 not being on Xbox. Quote, I'm not exactly sure who it helps, from IGN. Microsoft CEO Phil has confirmed that 4 Xbox exclusives will be available on other platforms, but he does not expect other companies to follow suit. He cited the example of Helldivers 2, a game released simultaneously on PS5 and PC, questioning the industry benefit of not having it available on the Xbox. Despite this, he acknowledged the legacy of console exclusivity, but believes it will become less prevalent in the future. While he didn't disclose which Xbox games will be on other platforms, he confirmed Starfield and Indiana Jones are not among them. Announcement sparked discussions about platform exclusivity, Xbox's strategy, and the evolving landscape of game development and distribution. So, yeah, it's kind of where he's like saying like he wants it on more. He's like talking both sides of his mouth, almost like.
Yeah, that's I like him a lot.
Confusing.
I think he's done a lot for Xbox, but yeah, I think that's his biggest fault. Like I said, I think the more I heard about it, I could see it maybe because he has to, like what he would want is Xbox, how we all want it. But there's also business end and what he's being told, so he has to conflict what he's saying.
Probably.
I think it's a little silly to think PlayStation can be like, all right, we'll do it now too.
Yeah.
So I think if that's really what Xbox, what the hell they didn't do it for us? I feel like that's not a very smart business move there. And it's also even kind of hypocritical because Microsoft or Xbox has released many games day and date on PC and Xbox and not PlayStation, like I said.
Yeah. Most of their games are like that.
Yeah. And you were surprised, and we joked about it, that Xbox, PlayStation, all of them talk about exclusives just because it's console. They don't even factor PC in. They just, that comes out and it's part of it. Yeah. So, it seems a little silly that when it's somebody else, it's totally different. Something I forgot about when we talked about all of this, we never even talked it completely on the podcast. I mentioned to Cody, and he said he never saw it, the FTC, when all that stuff was going on with Activision. These are official files that came out because the FTC, so it's not a rumor or anything. It's a roadmap that Microsoft had, and there was crazy detail about multiple consoles and what year they would come out, and a new controller with these crazy features and potentially handheld, and it was for like 10 to 15 years, and something I totally forgot about during this. I was like, so then I started thinking when I remembered, is that just out the window, or
Yeah.
is that something they're gonna do? And I know we're gonna talk later in here about potential handheld, so I'll go back to that. But the next gen Xbox was supposed to be 2028, and now they're saying that there's going to be hinting at it there. The next generation of Xbox will be at the end of this year.
Yeah.
And they said
Just
it'll
crazy.
be the largest technological leap, which
I doubt.
yeah, no way. I think now it's kind of like every election. They say it's the most important election. I feel like they do that every time.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're already having these struggles, I feel like they announced it at the podcast to try and cool the ease a little bit. Yeah, that too. But to be like, there is hardware. You don't have to worry.
Yeah.
But the plan was 2028. So I don't know if they changed it because of that, or now that roadmap isn't a thing anymore because they aren't so set on that hardware future. And it's actually, if you look at it deeper, maybe it's saying less about the hardware future of Microsoft. But yeah, I think even if it's the most impressive console yet, the biggest technological leap is almost impossible just because we've come so far that even if it's the highest performing console of all time, the leap from this to that, I don't think could be the biggest leap of all time. I don't think that's possible. And it makes me... I feel like consoles just become more and more PC, which is always what made consoles different. I think this was even a discussion on the old podcast me and Cody did, like at on Cody's channel.
Yeah.
That Xbox was saying how Xbox One and Series X you'll be able to play any game on there, and it'll just all run seamlessly. We're like, that's not possible. They might all run on there, but eventually they're going to run differently that you can't run it. And for the most part, every game does still run on each system. There is exceptions that literally won't come out on even Series S. They just don't come out sometimes now. But to be fair, most of them do come out on every system, but it's like you're playing a totally different game with the way they're coming out now. So I don't think that's really what they presented it as. And I feel like this is not going to be the biggest technological leap, as we said. So I feel like we're just getting more and more into PC territory. This generation of Xbox had almost no exclusives that were exclusive to the Series X because almost everything could be played on the other consoles, which is what they said. And even PlayStation, when the PS5 was coming out, they said they believe in generations, and they're calling out Xbox, saying that once a generation starts, then you can leave the generation behind. And I think that's partly what these systems need. I think that they could be 10 times more impressive if they didn't have to be restrained by the old systems, and that's clearly what's happening. And at first it makes sense, and there's always, even in the generation approach, it's not immediate because console sales need to pick up. You're going to have things that port over. It makes sense.
Yeah.
And this time you could even give it more of an excuse because everything was so supply constraint from COVID that you could, for a couple of years even, I think that you could make an argument that this isn't the same as the other generations, and it's going to take longer to get to where there's true exclusives because you had to have a built-in audience. But
pick up steam to get really into it.
Yeah. But I mean, if this is, well, I was going to say if this is true, but it's straight from Microsoft. They said this year, that we're getting not just an iteration or not better hardware, but the next Xbox. Then we're getting the new system before we had a true exclusive game, which is fucking insane.
Yeah. Which is what a lot of people are saying about Sony too, because they're like, their jokes are like, PS5 stands for 5 AAA exclusive titles or something like that.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that because that's what I was going to end with as far as my ramble here, is that we know Xbox plans, PlayStation's a lot of reports and what they think. But yeah, even if they don't do it, they're no different as far as what they've done. There's been almost no exclusives. Yeah. Most of their exclusives are held back by the PS4. So, they're both doing it. I don't like where it's headed.
Yeah. Well, speaking of technological advancements, this next article from Pure Xbox, New Xbox update makes more improvements to installation speeds. Xbox has released a new update for insiders aimed at improving installation speeds for games while they're being played. This feature is currently available only for members of the Alpha Skip Ahead Xbox Insider Ring. The ASAXIR, a sixer.
Oh, shit. What do you think about this news?
It will be rolled out to more members soon. Faster download speeds are anticipated to help with the slow downloading while playing simultaneously issue.
How do you feel?
I'm stoked. You know, I'm tired of these 600-700 gigabyte downloads, and you can't even do anything with your Xbox while you're doing it. Otherwise, it just takes so long.
I hope this is a noticeable different because, yeah, files are a way too big on systems as it is. But if you have a good connection and you're not playing anything, I mean, they download at a relatively fast speed. But if you try and play anything and download it, it's a lost cause if it's not a minuscule download.
Mm-hmm.
Like everybody knows, if you're trying to download something, just don't play something.
So stupid.
Yeah, so I hope that...
It's like when I'm playing on the PC, if I want to download a game, I can play a game and it's no issue. So I wonder what the limitation is and how they're removing it with an update.
Yeah, I'm confused by that too.
I mean, the only thing is if they somehow allocated more resources to the download installation, and does that impair your gaming? Does it like make noticeable difference when you're gaming kind of thing? I don't know.
Yeah, I hope it's noticeable because like I said, it's not really even possible unless it's a minuscule download. But I mean, as Microsoft, they're the most advanced software technology company in the world, so we'll see what they do. I mean, they literally made backwards compatibility possible through almost every game.
Yeah, which is really impressive.
Yeah, so hopefully it's different.
Yeah.
That's all I got there, though.
All right. That's about it for Xbox news. Moving on to your boy Sony, the other 4-letter word that we love.
That's right.
Starting with Game Rant. Why Sony's recent PS5 comments are so devastating. Statements from Sony show the potential end of the PS5 lifecycle, indicating the console's sales decline suggests that it's, quote, in the latter half of its life. This has led to speculation that the 9th generation consoles, which includes the PS5 and Xbox X/S, might end sooner than anticipated, possibly by 2026. Despite PS5's strong performance in 2023 compared to the Xbox Series X/S, the news of potential retirement raises questions about the industry's generational cycle. Console generations have been getting shorter, with the 7th generation lasting 11 years, the 8th generation still ongoing since 2012, and the 9th generation beginning in 2022. The PS5 and Xbox Series XS were expected to usher in a longer generation, especially given supply issues at the beginning of their release, causing delays. However, pandemic-related shortages and scalping slowed down the start of the 9th generation, with PS5 shortages ending only in 2023. As a result, many players still use 8th gen consoles, making talk of a 10th generation premature and potentially leaving some players behind.
Yep, so more of this nonsense.
Yep.
Closer to it. Also, what a missed opportunity by Microsoft to not have the Series X come out next year for the 10th generation. X10, you know? No?
Mm-mm. Why? Because it would be 10 years since?
It's a 10th generation and it's X.
Oh.
You get it?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That seems like a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
But I don't even... What's their next system going to be called? Do you want to predict it?
PS6.
Oh, that's too... Well, hopefully they just do something nonsensical. That'd be awesome. But Xbox.
Really? It's the only way I can keep track of the nonsensical systems. Like Xbox, you told me, what was that, last week or 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago.
I have no fucking clue what the order was again.
That's why maybe we should do that as trivia next week. You can name each generation of Xboxes.
No.
I think that'd be fun. So
It only was multiple choice.
What's their next Xbox going to be, though? What's that going to be called? What's their
idea.
releasing this holiday?
I had no idea. You used to want it to be called Xbox? I think it'd be fun if they just call it the box.
Oh shit! What they call it the X-Bone,
They wouldn't do that.
wouldn't they?
I guarantee they would not.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Let us know what the next Xbox should be called in the comments.
And then the PS, whatever.
Yeah, the PS12.
The place they should go back to 1,
They should
like
skip.
Xbox, PlayStation.
They should skip a generation
Uh-huh.
and then do a midquel.
Bring back the mid-cool.
Yeah.
Throwback. All right. But don't send any more Wall Street Journal articles. I can't read them.
Why not?
It says that you need a subscription.
I don't have one. I read it.
It wouldn't let me read it. I had to find it on the
For an
Verge.
iPhone thing.
I had to go to the Verge where they just pretty much copy and pasted Wall Street Journal's article into it. I thought that was funny. They're like, according to the Wall Street Journal, and then just like, I'm assuming the same article. Just I don't know how they got away with that one, but CNBC is this next one. Sony plunged $10 billion after its PS5 sales cut, but a bigger issue is near decade low games margins. Sony's stock experienced a significant drop in value following the company's decision to reduce its sales forecast for the PlayStation 5 console. While analysts have already expressed concerns about Sony's ambitious target sales for the PS5, they see declining margins in the gaming business as a more significant issue. Sony now expects to sell 21 million units of the PS5 for the fiscal year, down from a previous forecast of 25 million units. Despite various positive factors such as increased sales of digital games and high-margin subscription services like PS Plus, Sony's operating margin in the gaming business fell to under 6% for the December quarter, compared to over 9% the same quarter of the previous year. Analysts find this decline in margins particularly disappointing given the favorable conditions. Factors contributing to the margin squeeze include rising software production costs, such as a $300 million budget for the Sony's game Spider-Man 2. See, I feel like people are just like, they don't understand that COVID had a big impact, and there's like, that's how all the markets and everything, they just want to like, well, last time this year we were doing this, why aren't we doing that again? It's like, because it's not sustainable, you fucking idiot. This shit pisses me off so much. You know?
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it. I do think game budgets are just inflating to a ridiculous amount. I think that's definitely a big part of it. I know Cody's talked about that multiple times.
Yeah.
You
need to pull Elon Musk.
How so?
Just fire everyone.
Oh, you think so?
Well, we'll get to that.
I think we've been there for a while if you listen in the past couple months.
There's a reason we have a section in my notes now that just says layoffs.
My favorite part of the show.
Spoilers.
So, not too much to say there. I feel like it just kind of connected to things we've been talking about.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's very important and could be a big thing, but...
Yeah, stocks go up, stocks go down. Insider Gaming... Sony has a new PlayStation handheld console in development. Report claims. They put that at the end because do you know this guy? The Moore's Law is dead.
I do, and he's
is he pretty?
Yeah, he's been right about a lot of this stuff. Yeah, so that's why I put it in here because I tried to put in nonsense ones.
Sony's reportedly planning to re-enter the traditional handheld gaming market with a new PlayStation handheld console, as suggested by hardware leaker Moore's Law is dead. So I just put it in here. Looked at their channel, and it looks like it's all clickbait. But I don't know if that's true or not. Like I said, I looked at it and it was like super clickbaity titles, thumbnails. Put me off. But anyways, the rumored device is said to feature a custom AMD APU and would natively support and play games. Wow. What an article. It's currently in the high-level design phase and at least 2 years away from potential launch, pending final approval. The handheld may offer native backward compatibility with PlayStation 4. We don't know any of this. Games and potentially receive patches for the PlayStation 5 titles, but also don't know that. While MLID, that's the Moore's Law guy, confirms the PlayStation handheld's development and While MLID confirms the handheld's development and AMD's involvement, exact specifications are made speculative. That was a tongue twister. Insider Gaming has not independently verified the report, so it is advised to treat this information as a rumor.
You treat the whole thing as a rumor.
Yeah.
But
random comment of the week. Bum ba dum
dun,
bum. Why? Steam Deck and other
That's something
handheld
that was it.
PCs exist also. Mobile cloud gaming will become a thing not very far away. Just another bad decision by Sony. I mean, their games are on Steam, so you can play them on that way already on devices you already own. The biggest problem the Vita had was they didn't support it, and they barely promoted it. Maybe like one commercial where it was a mirror for the PS3, but they never pushed the games. They barely made any first-party titles, and they never promoted the Vita games.
So I'll let you start. What do you want to say?
I agree with this random commenter of the week. The market is pretty saturated for handhelds. You know, Steam's got the Steam Deck, which pretty popular. You got the fucking Switch nonsense. That's all you need. What do you need another one? I feel like it's just a load of faff.
Fat?
Faff. F-A-F-F. Faff.
What does that mean?
It's a Britishism.
That's why I hated it and didn't know what you're talking about.
It's faff, or faffs is plural, an overcomplicated task or one perceived as a waste of time.
Great.
Faff.
I think this is a waste of time.
Like this whole thing?
No, this description of this fucking dumb word.
Well, you asked.
Yeah, I wish I didn't.
How do you feel, bud? I feel like you're excited for it. That's my guess.
Definitely excited about the potential. I will say Moore's Law is dead. I don't know about his YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
I know you kind of have to be clickbaity to get anywhere on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I know Cody's talked about that. I personally would never do it on a thumbnail or anything.
No, would never plaster Taylor Swift on your podcast. That has nothing to do with Taylor Swift, except we say your name way too much.
Well, I mean, is that I was being facetious, but is that clickbait? Because we not only did I talk about it, I talked to her about it in great detail and about the thing that was in a picture.
Yes, we're a gaming YouTube channel.
All right, well, you wait and see what I do with this thumbnail. I have no idea.
Can you
so
please stop replacing me with Taylor Swift?
Hey, did you watch last week's?
Parts. I saw the parts where you replaced me with Taylor Swift.
Those were great edits. And then when the
Great.
AI came in, that was top-notch shit right there.
I didn't get that far, I don't think. Which part was that? I'll do.
It was right around Taylor Swift stuff.
I've been busy, bud.
You haven't been busy.
I've been very busy.
No, you haven't.
Is it just visual? Visual?
Yeah. Did you like the intro?
Yes, thank you for adding my name.
Yeah,
I
you're
appreciate it. Was that hard to do?
No.
Okay, well, why'd you complain so much like it was like a big deal?
Well, to get him to edit it would be a big deal.
Well,
And then it wouldn't have been a big deal if I knew I had the original image file, but I didn't know if I did. So that's why I said it would be a big deal, because I didn't even know if I had it anymore.
but you do.
And I know I could save it, but obviously the quality would drop
Degrade,
drastically.
yeah.
So yeah, but I found it, so it was easy.
All right.
Sorry,
we coming back to the
yeah, we sure
feedbacking, but
so what I was getting at with his channel, though, I've never looked at it. I know him because he's on Sacred Symbols podcast we've mentioned on here many times. And yeah, he's been right about a lot of this stuff. He was the first one to talk about the current PS5, how has a detachable disk drive. And
does it?
Yep. And
what does that mean?
I'm
not familiar with that. Detachable disk drive?
Yeah, it's digital only, and they can buy
like
attachment
a plug-in thing. Like
yeah,
now you have a disk drive.
Yeah, and he was the first one to say that, and that sounds.
And that happened.
Yeah, if people know it now, so everybody thinks it's real, but that sounds like utter nonsense. It sounds like you're literally trying to get rumors going by saying that, and it was real. And he's had multiple other things, so yeah, I think it's trustworthy. There's been talk since the Vita that Sony's going to do something handheld, and the only thing they've done since then was this year or late last year they released the PlayStation Portal, which you mocked the article about how it could play games native. You're like, oh wow, that's why it's saying that, because the PlayStation Portal is just a streaming device. There's no native games on it. So it's not actually expected, or well, it should be, but that's what they've made the market.
So it's like a it's just a tablet that streams games.
Yeah. For $200.
What's it stream from?
The PlayStation.
So you have to have a PlayStation and this $200 tablet.
Yeah, and people talk about Apple being restricted. The only headphones that work are the PlayStation Pulse headphones that are $100.
I'm guessing it didn't do well.
The people that play it are loving it, and it was I feel like they probably knew what it was, so they manufactured it correctly. It was selling out, and now it seems like it does pretty well. So I feel like it's probably because they knew what it was and knew.
I will say, looking at the pictures, the controller, like the actual things you hold on the tablet, look like they're well designed.
Yeah, it's a DualSense split in half.
Yeah.
I think it's cool. I'm sure there's a reason it's that much. I'm sure to manufacture and make a profit, I'm sure there's a reason it costs that much. But in my mind, that seems like it should be like $100 at most and would sell a lot more. And
I mean, what's a controller cost?
$60.
Yes, I don't think you could add an 8-inch LCD for $40 more.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I get it. It's just I get on that end, but yeah, it's a lot when you can look at the Steam Deck. It's a lot more, but what is it, $400 or $500? But then you get all that. Or there's the backbones or the Razer things that are $70 and you attach to your phone. So yeah, I get it, but at the same time, I feel like that's a hard thing to market.
What's also cringy is it's 1920 by 1080, 60 hertz LCD. So it's not even OLED. It's not even 120 hertz, and it's 1080p.
You know what was OLED at the end of the last iteration? The Vita.
Was it?
Yep.
They're ahead of their time.
It was beautiful.
Did you have one of those?
Yeah.
You still got it?
Yep.
Work?
Yeah, I need to replace the internal battery, though. It works for like 30 minutes.
Okay.
But I heard it's really easy to do. I just haven't done it.
Is that the one they blow up in?
I mean, every battery does that eventually, but I don't think it's a common thing. I think PSP is doing that.
Oh, that's right. The PSP, that's what I heard.
But to get more back on track here, yes, I'm very excited potential. Pretty much ever since I played Halo that first time, I've wanted an Xbox handheld, and that's in their roadmap, and it's becoming a big discussion. This dedicated handheld, there's been a lot of rumors of Sony and Microsoft doing a docking thing to compete with the Switch. So it could be something like that. So yeah, I'm excited about the potential of something handheld.
Sounds like it's very early stages if it's just rumors.
Yeah, like I said, it was on Xbox official roadmap that wasn't supposed to come out. But with that, I don't know if that was
I mean, that could have been just, obviously, long-term goals like that don't always happen. So.
Yeah. I will say one last thing. That I do think the market seems saturated and there's a lot. And I know the Steam Deck's doing really well. And the ROG Ally, which is an awful name, is doing really well, I hear. The Portal, like I said, is doing relatively well. But I think all those doing well, I feel like it's kind of to a point. I feel like that's not something that I feel like Xbox or PlayStation, that's a different level as far as mass appeal. I know Steam's huge, but I feel like even a lot of people who love Steam don't give a shit about Steam Deck. I feel like you're getting more of the people that kind of like Steam or don't have a great computer and want to get that. And I feel like handhelds are so mass appeal kind of thing. I feel like that's why Switch blew up the way it did.
Yeah.
So I think there's a market if it's done right.
Next article?
Yep.
IGN. Wait, where'd it go? Oh, here we go. Sony will not release any new major existing PlayStation franchise titles before April 2025. Sony's announced that it won't be releasing any major... What the fuck is your problem? What? I read and then you laugh? What is it? Go ahead, bud.
I know you hate when they repeat things and you literally just repeat it right after.
Well, I'm just trying to get over it, because it always happens. It seems like the title of the article is always the first line of the article. It's like, why do you need to say it twice?
Well, you edit them. Just edit one out.
The AI does the editing, bud.
Yeah, and then you see it, just be like, that's a repeat.
I can't. The AI knows best.
Yeah, clearly. It has done no wrong.
It's like on Reddit when people do the jokes and they start the joke and the title, you click on it, and then the first line is the title. It's like, no, I already read that part. You don't need to say it twice.
Yeah.
I have an attention span more than 3 seconds. Believe it or not.
It's hard to believe sometimes with you, but I'll take your word for it.
This decision, stated by Sony Interactive Entertainment boss Hiroki Totoki, I think I got it. Close enough. During a financial call, means titles like God of War Ragnarok and Marvel's Spider-Man 2 won't be launched in next fiscal year, ending in March 31st, 2025.
2025.
Despite ongoing development of major projects, Sony aims to focus on producing high-quality works and developing live service games. However, new first-party games from new franchises such as Fair Games, is that how you say it?
Mm-hmm.
With a money sign? Is that supposed to be in there?
Unfortunately.
Okay. I thought the AI did something. I was like, what the fuck? And Concord will still be released for PlayStation 5. Additionally, Sony plans to continue releasing remakes, of course, of previous big franchise titles. The decision follows Sony's acknowledgement that PS5 sales have not met expectations, prompting a revision to its full year forecast. Well, we already talked about that. To bolster its exclusive game list, Sony's focusing on securing second-party titles, including Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Stellar Blade, Rise of the Ronin. That reminds me of COVID, like the Rona, Rise of the Rona. All scheduled for release in 2024. Okay, so PS5 is upset that they're not selling enough consoles. Therefore, they're not going to make exclusives to sell the consoles.
It's like how they believe in generations, so they're like, we're going to skip this generation.
Brilliant.
I think the most important thing there to acknowledge is you said 2025, and I started saying 2025. I was singing it, and that's because it's a great song by an artist named Bodhi. Very underrated song. I think it's going to blow up next year when all the thoughts are sharing their TikToks and their Instagram reels of anything that says 2025. It's a great song. Check it out. Now to get back to the less important things here. Yeah, this fucking sucks. I feel like this just goes deeper into the lack of exclusives, the lack of generations, and the lack of excitement and announcements, like looking forward to E3 and those kind of things.
Yep.
Which is still happening, as me and Cody. We have a fake thing in our head that E3 is still happening.
There is something E3 like coming up.
Yes.
We'll get to
that. Yeah. I don't think I'll have E3.
Spoilers.
Like, Summer Game Fest, I think, is going to take over E3, but
do you?
Don't. Yeah.
Where's that at?
LA.
Ugh. Why do you pick these awful places for it?
That's where a lot of game development is. And if it's
LA
not, it's
is
in the
a
West.
shithole.
Stellar Blade.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen that game?
I have not. It sounds terrible.
You should look at the main character. It's visually beautiful.
Okay.
You seen it?
I'm seeing her.
It's so ridiculous.
I knew it was going to be some Asian shit.
That's a racist. You can't say that.
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
Because I saw Final Fantasy VII. I was like, well, all these games are going to be that genre.
What did you see? You said, I assumed.
Like a provocative, half anime, half waifu.
Okay, I'll cut to the chase. Is there ginormous? I don't even say that. Ginormous ass?
You can't see that part of her, but there's a ginormous front.
Well, I'll just look it up for you, okay?
Let me look at more images. Okay, yeah.
You see?
Yep.
It's so over the top.
Jesus Christ. Seems like a Dave game.
I might check it out. We'll see here.
Oh, gee, okay. Yeah, it's just...
It's gonna be stellar.
It's ridiculous. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's like harkening back to PS1 days. Lord
really? I think almost worse. Like, because it's not just the cheeks. It's like the fucking whole... It looks like everybody's just blue. Like, she got fucking stung by a bunch of bees. She's having a swelling issue. Like, she needs to go to the hospital and figure out why she's swelling so bad.
I mean, to be fair, though, Taylor Swift has the same issue, and she's real.
No, not like that.
Like that.
All right. Another IGN article. Sony picks up Forever Skies as a PS5 console exclusive out of 2024.
I got him.
Got him. This was so stupid. Sony has signed a deal. First-person post-apocalyptic survival game Forever Skies launched on Steam in early access. So they're not exclusive.
Well, it is. Remember?
I know, it's fucking stupid. When it leaves early access later this year, it will have console exclusive debut on PS5 with a same-day release on Steam. Sony Interactive Entertainment is providing development support and funding as a part of the partnership for Forever Skies. The developer said in a statement, Far From Home has teamed up with PlayStation to focus on making Forever Skies the best it can be for its console debut. So, at the end of PC early access, when we're ready to release the full game, we'll be launching it on PS5 for consoles. Worry not, though, this will not affect the ongoing development or release of Steam version, which will come out at the same time. Exclusive. The final version of the game will support both single player and up to 4-player co-op. Exclusive.
Yeah, they got their exclusive game. They did it.
Got it.
It's even exclusive to PS5, not even just like a PlayStation exclusive. So no PS4, which is rare, like we talked about.
Yeah.
For both companies. It's also funny how Nintendo's just doing its own thing. It's just always both companies, and they're just off to the side, just making billions. I think. Have you heard of this game?
No, I have not.
I hadn't. I hadn't either. I just put it in here because the exclusive talks have made sense.
Yeah.
But visually, it looked really cool. Where I won't say it lost me. Just my excitement went from like 9 to maybe a 2. It's a survival game, which I know is all the rage, but that killed a lot of it for me because I love first-person shooters. Visually, it looks cool, but not a big survival guy.
Yeah.
But at least it's an exclusive. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, it looks interesting. I feel like I'd play it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like survival, if anything, might be more likely that you would like it. I will say having 4-player co-op would make it a little more interesting, but
yeah.
We'll see. Maybe it'll be crossplay with your Steam.
Probably not. I doubt they do that.
I feel like it makes sense since I don't know. I could see it happening since PlayStation bought exclusivity.
You want to put a friendly wager on it?
Sure.
Okay.
Just that's it? Or is there like
Well, we have to make a wager.
What's it going to be?
I don't know.
You guys give us ideas in the comments. If you don't have anything good enough, we'll talk about it next week, and we'll think on the way.
Okay. Deal.
Oh, I don't like that handshake.
Another IGN article. Sony boss says PlayStation has, quote, room for improvement when it comes to cutting development costs.
True.
Hiroki Totoki, Sony chairperson, expressed his frank impressions regarding the PlayStation business, suggesting that studios could do more to reduce development costs. Rising development expenses and longer development cycles are pressing concerns in the gaming industry. Totoki's remarks come amidst internal concerns about escalating game development costs, as revealed by data stolen from Sony's own developer, Insomniac. Spider-Man 2, for instance, it exceeded its original budget by $30 million, requiring sales of 7.2 million units to break even. Although sales figures indicate profitability for the game, Sony has yet to confirm this officially. Totoki, reflecting on his tenure, emphasized the need for leadership and transparent communication within the organization to achieve sustainable profitability and increased margins. He aims to understand the industry's dynamics and analyst perspectives to address these challenges effectively. While concrete details were not provided during the financial call, Totoki's comments underscore the company's commitment to optimizing its business operations. He also delved further into areas for improvement within PlayStation Studios, particularly addressing concerns regarding development costs and scheduling. Despite acknowledging the talent and creativity within the studios, Totoki highlighted the need to optimize resource utilization, adhere to development schedules, and fulfill accountability in project management. He expressed his commitment to engage in dialogue with studio personnel to address these issues effectively. The leaked data from Insomniac revealed pressure on Sony-owned studios to make staff cuts, with indications of possible studio closures and layoffs. For instance, Insomniac was reportedly under pressure to implement budget cuts, with potential layoffs affecting teams working on projects like Wolverine and Spider-Man 3. These decisions were purportedly made to reallocate resources to other projects, such as new Ratchet and Clank game and an unannounced IP. Sony is said to have enforced staff cuts across its first-party studios, with instances of layoffs reported at Media Molecule, Bungie, and Naughty Dog. However, official comments from Sony and Insomniac regarding these claims are currently unavailable. Fire 'em all!
Fire 'em all?
Fire 'em all! It's too much bloat, man.
I don't...
What? Get them all out, man. What? Why are they wasting all this money for? We want cheaper games. We don't want these bloated projects that turn out like dog shit because you got too many people fucking around.
So fire 'em all?
Fire 'em all.
Who's making the game then?
The people who actually need to make the fucking game.
So not fire 'em all.
Not all of them, but obviously
gotcha.
you got to have some people.
Okay.
But fire 'em all.
I just feel like hopefully they actually mean this and it does good for games, because it's definitely getting to be something that's too much to handle, and I feel like we're seeing it with the lack of exclusives and things being held back.
Yeah.
So I hope that's obviously I'm not the guy to know how to fix it, but that's his job, so hopefully he has it's not a magical fix, some ways to improve it.
Yeah, I mean, you look at majority of the games I played. Of course, I'm pretty much exclusive on PC, but most of the games I play and enjoy the most are small independent studio games. You know, like AAA titles are good once in a while, but I think majority of my favorite games are small independent studios, and I think that the AAA games can embrace some of that and hopefully get better moving forward.
Yeah, I feel like you're seeing that in spurts. Like Pentiment is kind of blown up, and it's very small relative to AAA games. The game coming to PlayStation and Nintendo, as we now know. So there's examples of it. Definitely not the norm, but I feel like you're seeing it here and there.
Yeah. And like Pentiment, $20. Like that's what a game should cost, not $70, $80, $100 pre-order.
Well, yeah, it's a balance though, because I mean, inflation alone, even if they're not being ridiculous games have raised $20 in 25 years. So
It's too much.
it's too much.
Yeah. Should be going down as we get more tools and more computational abilities. It's easier to create these games.
Yeah, but the assets and
AI
creation and the
AI
and the humans it takes to make these things become more expensive.
I for one can't wait for AI overlords to make all our games.
So I think I don't think you are going to see that. So I think it makes sense that game prices rise.
Yeah.
Even though I don't personally like it. I think to have any chance to make high budget games or even AAA games, even if they're decent budget, you're going to have that to even have a chance. Or even the mid-tier games, which were like the main thing in 360 era. That's kind of a thing in the past, and the ones that come out now are, I love it. And the ones that come out now are pretty much just dead on the water, because even if they're well-reviewed, people like it, they don't sell like anything, and then the budgets of those are mid-tier, but mid-tier now is
millions.
Yeah, so
yeah,
it's kind of just leaves you with either a giant corporation that is going to make AAA, or you're somewhere an indie that's going to do something small and knows how to budget things like that.
All right. This next article just feels like a repeat of the first article. I don't know why you put both of them here.
Well, I did tell you to double check because it's possible that.
It might have been one I put one, you put one.
Okay.
But it's like identical. Exceeded the budget. Oh wait, this is the article I just read. That's why.
I wish you just read it. And that'd been awesome.
Next, here we go. Next article. Push Square. Astrobot will return for another PS5 rescue mission this year. Woo! You like Astrobot?
That's easily one of my favorite PS5 games.
Really?
I think I had you try and you really liked it.
Is that the one you're running around getting coins or something? Or?
Yeah, platforming. It really shows off the controller. It's kind of the Wii Sports of PS5.
You get the buzzing.
And I love platformers, and that, with the exception of a handful of games, is definitely a thing of the past as well. Platformers, and even they come out, they're not the major games, and those used to be like Driving Force, unless it's Mario or something.
Yeah.
So I hope it's true. And Push Square is one of the biggest PlayStation websites. So I think it probably has some.
I get it because of Square.
Got it.
Yeah. Sony caused quite a stir among PS5 fans like Casey this week by announcing that it will not release any entries in its major existing franchises this year. While this initially caused panic, it seems the statement was referring to flagship series like Marvel's Spider-Man and God of War, suggesting a focus on smaller franchises and new IP instead. Journalist Jeff Grubb indicated during Giant Bomb's Game Mess Mornings that a new Astrobot game is in the works for later this year. While this may not be considered a major release by Sony standards, it's significant for fans like Casey. Developer Team Asabi, known for acclaimed Astro's Playroom, have been working on new projects since the PS5 launch, rising speculations about potential VR integration in the upcoming title, or possibly a more traditional gaming experience. Would you want it to be VR or regular?
There's actually a Astrobot VR thing on PS4, and I haven't even tried it yet. I should try it. And I think there's a lot of things you could do really cool with it. But that's actually something I would just like to be a regular game, because that's what made the rescue mission so special. It felt like a throwback to like PS1 64 days, but felt so modern at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like doing it in VR would kind of feel it would just immediately take the nostalgia out of it, because it would feel so advanced and different.
Yeah.
And I know you always ask for corrections. It's Asobi for the.
What'd I say? Asabi?
Yeah, so very close. And
pretty much the same thing.
I probably wouldn't know unless I hear it on podcasts. So that's why I was telling you.
Okay.
I feel like I was gonna say something else there, but I lost it. But yeah, I prefer it to be a regular game.
Regular platformer.
Yeah.
All right. And for you folks keeping score at home, that's Mark's halfway through the news, so good time to get another cup of Joe, another DP, as the kids say.
I don't know if we're going to have that long of a break. Here's also a good time. I remember what I was going to say. It had nothing to do with that article.
Oh, okay.
I was grabbing at my facial hair here while you were talking, just pulling on it.
Yeah.
And I was wondering, let me know in the comments, or if you listen to some podcasts, maybe even better, if you hear me just pulling on this right now. And you're like,
I doubt it.
You don't think so?
Yeah.
Because I was doing it out of instinct, and I was like, that might be real annoying.
Because my phone went off a couple episodes ago, and I was like, I wonder how loud that was, and I listened to it, barely hear it. No, it's pretty loud. So, next one, we are officially leaving Sony World and into the Nintendo world.
Favorite four-letter word.
It's no longer 4 letters. We've expanded our vocabulary.
Yeah, you're right.
Nintendo.
Yes, let's get a Mario voice. Let's hear your best Mario.
No, thank you.
Ah, boo.
Another IGN article. Casey's really digging IGN this week. I know last week was Kotaku. Now we're going to IGN. We got to keep it fair and balanced.
Like Fox News.
Nintendo Switch 2 reportedly delayed to early months of 2025. Don't do it I will stop saying that if you continue to sing that bullshit.
It's gonna be huge next year, but I'm trying.
I will not be in the podcast next year because it'll just be every fucking day.
Just don't say it again.
Okay. The highly anticipated Nintendo Switch 2, previously expected to launch at the end of this year, has been reportedly delayed until at least March of next year, according to sources cited by Bloomberg, VGC, and Eurogamer. This delay could impact the original Switch, which has seen a significant sales success, surpassing 139 million units sold. With limited information on first-party releases for the original Switch in 2024, including titles like Princess Peach Showtime and potential remakes such as Luigi Mansion's 2 HD and Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door. Fans may... What? This is AI, bud. What?
No, what's this play you're putting on?
What play?
Start out somewhat normal.
I'm just trying
Luigi's
to...
Showdown. Luigi's Mansion Remaster 2.
I'm just trying to entertain the guests.
Hey, it's working for me. Then,
Yeah. So it's got to be working for everyone else.
Yeah.
It'd be great if you stop interrupting me, though.
Sorry.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
Fans may anticipate more remakes and remasters as Nintendo prepares for the Switch 2.
In case you're listening to audio and you can't hear it, Ryan snapped. Here, I'll help you.
Got it. Analyst Serkan Toto. Is he related to Totokuni? Or whatever the Sony guy's name was? Probably. He suggests that Nintendo's release schedule may be challenging without a new device, potentially leading to more remarks of old Nintendo hits. Nintendo's plans for 24 may become clear with the rumored February Direct. What? It's already... I know, I guess it's still February. I thought it was March for some reason. I'm losing my mind, bud. Help me. Given the company's history of releasing direct presentations in February or March, have they announced a date?
They did. I had a little bit of news saved here, but we'll get into that real quick. They announced it right before we went live.
Oh.
Nintendo,
hot off the press.
Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase is coming. Watch on demand via YouTube on 2/21, so February 21st.
It's in 2 days from here.
At 9 a.m. our time.
Damn it. What the fuck is with these people? They don't... What is that like?
It's supposed to be around 45 or 25 minutes and focus on Nintendo Switch games coming in the first half of 2024 from our publishing and development partners. So that makes it sound like it's not going to be mainline Nintendo games like other people's games. So I don't know how accurate that's going to be. Did you have anything else there before I keep going? Okay. Yeah. You don't have any thoughts on this?
I don't have a Switch 1, and I don't plan on getting a Switch 2. So, no.
I hear you. I am totally okay if this doesn't come out till 2025. I just recently got an OLED Switch, and I think a new Switch needs to come out to compete with the not even just the current consoles, because now we're getting the rumors of the next consoles.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there's no way Nintendo's going to keep up with it, so they're probably going to do their own thing and probably be behind. But
they don't give a fuck.
Shitload of money.
Yep. Look at that, 140 million units.
Yeah, we'll see. I feel like this Switch 2 has been rumored since 2021, so about coming out soon. So it just keeps changing.
How much does the Switch cost?
$200, I think.
That's it?
I think so.
That's not bad.
I think. I think actually that's a Switch Lite. I think the Switch is $300. Still not terrible.
So you get the stream thing.
Yeah.
For the same price almost.
Which that's the equivalent of the Lite because you can't dock it. But
oh really?
Yeah, but I mean it's
its own.
Yeah. So it's pretty much just a super advanced Game Boy. It sounded like I didn't know what the Game Boy Advance is called. I realized when I said a super advanced Game Boy, but I'm just saying a very advanced version of the Game Boy. I realized when I said it. So I would say this is a rumor, and who the fuck knows? And I almost just don't pay attention to rumors because they just seem like they just say shit.
Yeah, especially with
And
Nintendo. They're
yeah,
very elusive.
they are. They just think it's because they're so traditionally Japanese. They just do their own thing.
Yeah.
Sony's obviously Japanese as well, but I feel like they've become much more
Very
American.
Americanized, yeah.
And especially with all this Xbox stuff, people are going real hard at leakers and reporters.
Dirty leaker.
And I would say the same thing. That's what's going to almost be my topic, how fucking annoying this all got blown up into for what it ended up being for Xbox. But then when I heard Xbox talk, I was like, I could see how leakers not only misconstrued this, but maybe heard things that Microsoft either put to the side for now,
Yeah.
or they're going to plan for the future. Because like I said, the long term, they're going to be exclusive. It's just a matter of when. Or not exclusive, they're going to be. Non-exclusive, they're going to be.
Yeah.
Just
Agnostic.
probably a publisher and no hardware eventually.
That's
But
sad.
that connects to that, so I just thought I'd say
Yeah.
it there.
All right. On to layoffs. Wah, 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 wah. This one's interesting. Engadget posts Paramount Global set to lay off a reported 800 employees. So the layoffs haven't even happened yet. They're just reported to happen. So these people are like the news knows before the people know, which is weird.
Yeah, especially because you probably don't know if you're one's laid off. So
Yeah.
everybody, unless you know for sure you're set, you're probably like, oh fuck.
Yeah. Paramount Global announced layoffs affecting about 800 employees, roughly 3% of its work. That's insane. 3% is only 800. Holy shit. They're so fucking bloated, dude. Including some from its Paramount Plus team. CEO Bob Backish, we'll go with Backish, stated that these layoffs are part of company's strategy for the future, with notifications to affected staff expected by end of Tuesday. So that's today, right? Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Is today Monday?
Yeah.
Shit.
It's one of those. It's a Monday.
It's a Monday. Except it feels like a Tuesday, apparently.
That's yeah. Well,
The layoffs will impact international offices as well. In compliance with local legal obligations, Variety reports that the cuts will be distributed across all divisions, including Paramount Plus, CBS, Paramount Pictures, Showtime, Comedy Central, MTV, Nickelodeon, and last but not least, Pluto TV.
I think that is least.
Yeah, probably.
Even below.
I mean, it's
current
Pluto.
TV.
Like, Pluto's fucking tiny. It's not even a planet anymore. So, Backish referenced the success of Super Bowl, was it 35?
Oh no, it's in the 50s.
Oh, 50s? I don't know. It's LVIII. Whatever the fuck that means. I didn't learn
57?
to count that high in. I think it'd be 8. Because 5, 6, 7, 8. And L is 50, I guess. So we're going 58?
Yeah.
Final answer?
Yep.
All right. In reference, why do they have to do that shit? Why can't they just spell out 58?
Yeah. I don't like it. I feel like it just looks more stylized and fancy. But yeah, I don't like it either.
Paramount streaming and film divisions have experienced growth, but its traditional television offerings have faced challenges with an 8% revenue drop in Q3 of 2024 and a 14% decline in TV advertisements. The company struggles in linear TV and has reportedly made its target for mergers and acquisitions, including previously rumored discussions with Warner Bros. Discovery. Backish also mentioned Jon Stewart's return to Comedy Central's The Daily Show, praising the host's comeback. Stewart resumed hosting dailies after leaving his Apple TV Plus series, The Problem with Jon Stewart, amid reported disagreements with Apple over episodes criticizing China and AI.
Oh,
You
criticize AI, bud. You're gonna fucking kill him.
you a Daily Show guy or?
No, I hate it.
Oh, you hate it.
Do you think season 2 of Halo
No.
can save Paramount?
Yes,
Me too.
especially if you guys continue your podcast.
That's what I was thinking.
I think the combo platter, the hype train be so hard you can't say no to it.
I mean, even analytically, look at our channel. Look at the growth we have with Halo.
One whole
So-
subscriber.
I mean the views though. So think about the viewership of Paramount Plus must be skyrocketing, which brings in revenue. Halo saves the day.
Halo saves the day.
Did you see what's happening to Twin Pilots?
No. Is it sad news?
Seems I'm not one of these guys, the hype meter and all this shit, but
Yeah.
my sister sent me a screenshot. If you look at let me see if it's still this way. But she
Is this
sent
the
me
clock shit?
I don't know about that, but
Somebody like you put a clock over two albums, it makes a time and a date or some shit. I don't know. These people are fucking insane. They need to get a life.
no, this is. I don't follow any of that kind of shit. They do that with Taylor Swift as well. We used to work with somebody, and you used to buy into all that shit with Twin Pilots. I was like, did you hear this? So I don't. If an album comes out, it'll come out.
Yeah.
But I wait for something official like this on their official Spotify. And
What, the red stuff?
yeah, there's something on every
Oh,
official
yeah.
album. And she didn't send me this one. I just noticed the blue pants. And
Yeah,
the
red
I
pants.
wonder if it's gonna be regional. Well, it'd be weird to just do a throwback album after this one. We'll wait, but
That'd be amazing though.
it was
If
but
they-
regional at best, or maybe two of them,
I think
Or,
if they did the old stuff.
or just maybe a logo change back to the original.
Well, I'd rather a new album.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I feel like every album this is way off topic, but I feel
That
like
never happens.
every album they go further from the band I fell in love with.
You used to think every album was getting better though. When I was like, I feel like,
No,
yeah, you're part of the hype machine at the time though.
maybe a little bit, but
'Cause I
definitely
wasn't
not.
allowed to say. I wasn't even saying they're terrible or anything. I was like, I just don't think it's as good. And this is the best one yet. Like, all right.
I don't like the direction we're going.
Next episode, let's rank the Twin Pilots albums.
No,
Why not?
Okay.
All right, let's do it.
I think I gotta listen to them all again. I don't remember which album has what songs.
I do generally.
Generally, but
enough to rank them definitely.
they do this shit on the Twin Pilots subreddit all the time.
Yeah, but I'm sure that
They do like
if you have a different opinion, then you're a fucking worthless piece of shit, and not just like, oh,
Yeah.
really? You think
yeah, they
that?
do like a daily. At least they did maybe it was a weekly thing where like they'd open a poll and it'd be like a battle of the Twin Pilots songs, and like you vote for your favorite, and then the bottom one would drop off, and then you vote for again. I was like, but you're literally doing the same thing over and over because literally it's the same order over and over. It's like this makes no fucking sense.
Probably because you're not allowed to have different opinion. Everybody's
Yeah.
like, oh, this is the best one. This is the best one.
Yeah, exactly.
I agree.
Anyways, where were we? Oh, another layoff article from game developer. Embracer says it's looking out for shareholders after cutting almost 1,400 jobs. The poor shareholders. Embracer has reiterated its commitment to, quote, maximizing shareholder value after implementing significant layoffs, totaling almost 1,400 workers in the past 6 months. The company provided an update on its restructuring program, revealing an additional 483 jobs cut in the last quarter, bringing the total to 8% of its total headcount. While Embracer expressed confidence in the progress of its restructuring program, it admitted that it might not achieve its target of reducing net debt below SEK 8 billion by the end of the... I think SEK is Swedish, like dollars. Is a Swedish company, right?
Don't know.
I assume, I think SEK is. I think that's what it is. So they have $8 billion of debt, and that's fucking insane.
Well, if
There's
you
a-
look at what they bought, they just bought up everything possible in like 10 years. So,
I was gonna say, I've never heard of this company, Embracer.
yeah, but if you look up what
All the
they
companies they own,
oh,
you're
yeah,
like-
you'd be like, what the fuck? That's-
Okay.
Yeah.
They're just trying to be like Microsoft, kind of the Swedish Microsoft.
Yeah.
That's like the quote: "If you owe the bank like $100,000, that's your problem. If you owe the bank $8 billion, that's a bank problem." That's crazy. $8 billion. Embracer emphasizes its commitment to maximizing shareholder value in all situations, even if it means initiating restructuring before announcing divestments. Despite the layoffs, Embracer reported a record net sales of $12.1 billion in Q3, a 4% increase year over year, with a net totaling of $2.2 billion. Lars, we're just going to call him Lars, stated that the restructuring program aims to create a leaner, stronger company, emphasizing a more selective approach to business to maximize return on investments, ROI. Embracer intends to focus on a more established, owned IPs and studios, increase predictability, return on investment, and profitability in the future.
Yeah, you should look up Embracer Group sometime.
I'll do it right now. I'm not doing anything else.
I mean, they're not really like Microsoft in the way that Microsoft's a lot more broad company. They're definitely specific to games, but as far as trying to get everything, yeah, they just hoarded every game company that was going out of business, everyone they could afford, and then every IP that they could buy. So they just have some of the biggest names in game history in their lineup.
Oh, that's nothing.
And they have...
So a SEK is a Swedish krona, and 1 SEK is like 10 cents.
There you go.
So they like 10, what did they say, 8 billion?
Mm-hmm.
That's like $20.
$20. But you also have to think...
okay, it's like a few hundred million, but...
Yeah, just a little difference.
Yeah.
Also, it's not even just all the IP they bought and all the studios they own. They obviously have to employ all these people that work there and hire new people and have facilities and all these things. So, yeah, you can see how they got into such trouble.
Yeah, they own a lot of stuff. All right. On to the agnostic news, as I call this section. We're creating a new section for this week. See how it goes. Give us feedbacking down below, please.
Yes, continue the feedbacking.
PC Gamer.
Boo.
You don't like PC Gamer?
I was just trolling since you're here.
Helldivers 2. I think you put this article in here.
I did.
Boo. Boo. Helldivers 2 player count more than double launch weekend. 300K and climbing as the co-op shooter goes viral. Viral. Helldiver 2 has experienced unexpected success in the past week, boasting over 330,000 concurrent players on Steam and a total player count surpassing 1 million. The surge in popularity has led to server issues, with players facing queues and delayed mission rewards due to server strain. Arrowhead is compensating for these problems by offering bonus experience to players. That's counterintuitive. You're going to offer more incentive to play the game. So then you increase your server strain. How about you just add more servers? Despite the technical difficulties, Helldivers 2 is praised for its chaotic, cooperative gameplay, humorous moments, and challenging missions, though it's noted to still have some bugs. The game is available on Steam, and players interested in diving into the action are advised to check out guides for helpful tips and highlights.
This game is a PlayStation exclusive.
Right here it says PC exclusive.
The original one was a Vita-only game.
Huh.
So it's crazy to think about what this has become. And it launched at $40. So...
Excuse you?
Okay.
Yeah.
You're on my side, too.
Sorry,
Excuse me.
my
No,
leg was
sorry.
cramping. I just need to
No, I
stretch
hear
it.
you. I was
This
gonna do the
table's
same
too
thing.
fucking small, and these chairs are too fucking uncomfortable. I don't know how long you been sitting here? Because you had a 2-hour podcast before this, and we've been sitting here for almost 2 hours. No wonder your back is fucked. Have you told your physical therapist that you sit in this shit for multiple hours a week?
No, which is interesting because Helldivers 2 is $40, a PlayStation exclusive.
That is interesting.
It's I think crossplay. Maybe we could look that up. Maybe that'll give us a hint about
Will do.
our wager. If it is, we should try it out. You might be interested in it. And it also has grown since that article.
Yes, there is.
Uh-oh, not a good sign for you.
Why?
I shouldn't have told you before the wager.
Well, we haven't fucking made a bet yet.
Yeah, we have a bet.
But
I mean, it's a different company.
you
So
can't-
it's not a guarantee.
You can't set terms of the bet after the bet's been concluded.
Huh?
What do you mean, huh? You can't we can't make a bet on something that's already concluded.
But it isn't concluded. We weren't talking about this game.
Oh, we weren't?
No.
What were we talking about?
We were talking about. Now you're making me forget.
I thought it was this game.
No, it was Forever Skies.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
Okay.
saying they're both PlayStation Steam
Well,
games.
I'm fucked.
But it is a different company, even though PlayStation owns it. It's not the same developer. But Helldivers 2 has passed Destiny 2 in all-time Steam concurrent player count, which is crazy because this game, like I said, was originally the first one was a Vita-only game, and they also put this game out at $40, and I don't think they expected to blow up like this. I feel like the server capacity is an indicator of that.
Yeah.
So pretty crazy.
Here's a tutorial on how to do crossplay. If you have friends on another system, you can invite them to play with you easily. Head on over to the options menu and find your social tab. Go to the bottom and you'll see a friend code. When you tap this button, you will get a randomly generated 8-digit number that you can send to your friends. Once they enter this in, you'll become friends. And you'll be able to see each other on your social tab in your friends list. Which I don't understand that works because do you have a social tab on a PC? Like, what the hell? Is it like you have to download, like...
Probably do inside the game.
Maybe, I don't know.
That's how Fortnite, a lot of the games do it.
Fortnite.
But usually it's just like, hey, here's my name. Add it.
Yeah. I don't know what they need a fucking code for. Next on the articles, another IGN. I'm very confused. I thought maybe the AI did something weird, but I looked. And the title is Pal World has lost X% of its player base. What does that mean? Like they're acting like that was like a placeholder, like, guys, we gotta figure out what this percentage is, but for now let's just do X. And then they forgot to go back in and put what X was.
Maybe it's like Series X, like 10.
Maybe it's like Twitter. They lost Twitter
10.
percentage.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that because they have the number in the article, so that's odd.
They don't though. I looked for it.
You sure?
Positive.
It was there. Would your AI do this whole thing?
I mean, you can look while I'm reading it, but it literally says the emerging Pal World has lost X% of its player base. Discourse is lazy. That doesn't make any sense. What does that mean? If you can find a number, let me know. I'm gonna read the condensed part. The developer of Pal World has responded to discussions surrounding the game's declining player numbers since launch, labeling the discourse as lazy. Pocket Pair community manager Bucky addressed the game's performance in its first month since release, acknowledging that while some players may have moved on from Pal World after initially trying it out, the development team remains committed to addressing issues and providing new content. Despite the decline, its concurrent players in Steam, Pal World remains one of the most played games on the platform, while impressive sale figures and player counts. Pocket Pair emphasized that taking breaks from games is normal and encouraged players not to feel guilty about exploring other titles. They assured players that new content and updates are in the works, including PvP, raid bosses, new islands, and crossplay between Steam and Xbox. The success of Pal World has led to a recruitment drive by Pocket Pair as they're facing staffing shortages. However, the game's launch hasn't been without controversy, with accusations of being a Pokemon ripoff and allegations of IP infringement. Despite these challenges, Pocket Pair remains focused on improving the game and delivering a positive experience for Casey players.
I was going to say, not really much for me. I don't know what the hell happened to this article.
Yeah, it seems like something fucking happened to it. Because like, what does it mean? Labeling the discourse as lazy. What does that mean?
Well, that's the developer talking about people saying that talking about the player count dropping off is not accurate or a lazy take. But the X number was definitely a number before, so I don't know what happened to the article, but I found it somewhere else.
Okay.
It went from 2.1 million concurrent players to 430,000 in 24 hours. So I'm sure the game's still massive. I'm sure to them, especially what people thought this game could be, it's a huge success, but that is a crazy drop-off. I don't think there's any way around. That's nuts. And it would be different if the game just came out and it dropped off.
I mean, it's still in alpha, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's like...
But, I mean, it was for a little bit. It wasn't like a one day or even week wonder. It hasn't been out forever, but it was keeping a player base, so that's a pretty drastic drop off after people were sticking around for it that long. I feel like.
I mean, I'm assuming most of these people started at the same time. Then they probably all got through the content that's available right now at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if it's that kind of game, it seemed like.
Seems very grindy.
Yeah, I'd say it didn't seem like a linear type of game to me. But yeah, if it's that'd be different.
Yeah.
I
haven't played. I've just seen some videos of it.
I know it seemed grindy. It's described as a survival game. So yeah, that's kind of what I pictured.
Have you heard more about the allegations of ripoffs, patent infringement? Has Nintendo done anything else?
Nintendo?
Yeah.
I haven't. I can try and look up for next episode. I haven't heard anything though.
Next article, Kotaku, back to Old Faithful. Embracer canceled nearly 30 unannounced games in just 6 months. The company has acquired the teams behind Borderlands, Deus Ex, and more. Fuck.
Well, the good thing is somebody's gonna buy those IPs if
Are they?
Embracer goes away. Yeah, they're too big.
Yeah. I just mean, like, I don't like the whole gobble, gobble, gobble of the industry by these massive corporations. Yeah. Embracer's aggressive acquisition strategy in the gaming world has led to criticisms for layoffs, studio closures, and project cancellations. CEO Lars Wingfurs, I guess.
Like the last time, so I'm not going to try.
I had to try it. Wingfurs? I feel like it's like Vengevers. Something Swedish. I'll have to look it up. I'll try and look it up for next time.
Okay.
He emphasized the maximizing shareholder... all that bullshit. The approach echoed by many other players like Microsoft has raised concerns about the consequences of large-scale acquisitions in gaming.
So you were concerned about.
I know. It's almost like I read the article before.
Did you?
No.
No, I was going to say, I don't believe that.
I skimmed it.
Like I said, these huge IPs, long term, I think will be fine because I don't see any way they don't get bought up. But I feel like that's more sad for those 29 unannounced games.
30.
Huh?
30.
30. Okay. I'm sure most of them are probably going to be known properties because they have so many big properties. But it's going to be sad not knowing what those were or if there was some unique games in there.
Or maybe they're all trash.
Definitely possible. I'm sure at least some were.
Yeah.
That's too many games. Not have some bad ones. Especially for a company who's just throwing things at the wall and seeing what sticks.
Definitely. Oh, back to IGN.
Old Faithful.
They are to host a live in-person fan event in LA this June. Casey will be there signing autographs.
That's right. They already invited me.
IGN has announced a 3-day fan event taking place in Los Angeles this summer, featuring gaming, entertainment creators, developers, publishers, enthusiasts, and lots of homeless. The event, scheduled for early June, promises world-class talent, parties, networking opportunities, and unique attractions such as more homeless under the bridges. From leading exhibitors from across gaming and entertainment. It will include live IGN shows, live tournaments, first looks at new releases, and panels with headliners from games, TV, movies, and more. A portion of ticket sales will go to charity via Humble Bundle to help combat homelessness in the LA County. IGN Live will be part of IGN's annual Summer of Gaming event, which traditionally features gaming announcements, celebrity appearances, interviews, presentations. Jesus, just stop listing shit. I'm getting tired. Registration. Oh yeah, they're doing a live thing. What do you think, Casey? New E3 or?
No, I don't think it's new E3. I don't think. Maybe they're trying to be the new E3 because they're combining it with their like Summer Games thing. Mm-hmm. And this is not Summer Game Fest that I mentioned. This is something separate.
That's separate, yeah.
Yeah. So maybe they are trying for that, but I don't think there's any way that they could be anywhere close to that. And I think for this to be successful at all, I think you're going to have a lot of game announcements and game companies there. I don't feel like
Yeah.
IGN is just
They're
gonna
not gonna pull
be
it.
enough to, especially for 3 days, maybe a 1-day event. I mean, this was 10 years ago when IGN was in its prime. YouTube was smaller. That'd be different. But I feel like most people go IGN now are just going for a story or a video. They don't care about IGN. IGN used to be something people cared about. They knew who worked there, and obviously people that still do. But generally, I don't think that's a normal thing. Like this was 15 years ago. You don't know how much money I would have paid to go out there to see this. But now I'm like, it'd be cool to go, and I don't care if I don't go.
I definitely don't want to go. Speaking of IGN, next article brought to you by IGN. EA Sports College Football 25 full reveal coming this May.
2025.
Fuck. No, I didn't say 2025. I said 25.
I thought you mistaken and said 2025. It should be 25 though. But either way, 2025.
All right. EA has released a trailer for the upcoming college football video game, College Football insert year here, confirming a full reveal stated for May ahead of its summer 24 release window. The game marks the full revival of the series, which ceased in 2013 due to licensing issues and a lawsuit over unauthorized player likenesses. The new game will include real-world college football players following a Supreme Court ruling allowing athletes to profit from their name, image, and likeness. NIL. Nil. Despite legal hurdles, EA settled a lawsuit last December and plans to release the game this summer. I don't know why they don't call it 2024. Bringing back fan-favorite modes like Road to Glory and Dynasty.
That's how sports and
I know, it's stupid.
cars do the same thing too.
Yeah. Excited, bud?
Oh, I can't fucking wait. I am so excited. I hope this plays more like the old games as far as style-wise. Obviously, it has to be modernized. But NCAA always played more arcadey and easier to pick up than Madden.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope that's still in there, especially as Madden's gotten
more serious.
Yeah, more serious and more realistic, which is cool in its own way, but that's even more reason to have something
kind of go a different direction.
But I'm sure part of it is that it saves a lot of money for them to share assets, and because it's the same overarching company, obviously, but it's different studios. So hoping for that. I know we're both hoping for Buckeyes cover.
So hopefully it's not just a reskinned Madden.
Yeah,
definitely. With different players.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling that's the way it's going to go.
I sure hope not. The only two things besides
Why not the national championship winners, bud?
The only two things that have been shared on the EA's college football account on X, besides the teaser trailer, are two tweets they shared that have stuff about Ohio State in it. One of them being Ohio State sharing an article about what Brutus will look like in the game. So it's a great sign. I don't think it's going to be Ohio State, and I think it's really weird that the only two things they shared are not even from them, and they're both Ohio State. I don't really know what that is. I just thought it was funny.
This means Ohio State social media is on it.
They're on everything.
Ohio versus the world, bud.
Speaking of Ohio, in our group chat, you guys didn't do it enough justice how fucking awesome it's going to be to have the Blue Jackets in Ohio Stadium against Michigan. Detroit, but Ohio versus Michigan.
Oh, they announced the Detroit's doing it?
Yep.
Okay. I had a feeling it was going to be that, but
yeah, I think it's long overdue, and it's going to be fucking awesome.
And I think they should do the reverse. They should do one in the big house.
I'd be fine with that. I don't think they will, but
that'd be cool. Then you could have like a rival, like a, kind of like the Michigan-Ohio State rivalry for college football. You have it in the college football stadium, but with NFL crowd.
I would love that. I think they already fucking trashed the Blue Jackets enough, the league does. I mean, we are one of 3 teams that's never had one. There's 2 teams that have entered the league after us that have had multiple games. And
what do you mean? Outdoor games?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That is odd.
And I think as the opposing team's even less likely, because I feel like if it's the Red Wings, they would want somebody historic like the Penguins or something. Yeah. I agree, it'd be awesome, but I feel like it's even less likely.
You need to play in the rivalry.
A second one on the road, especially.
Yeah. All right. Last agnostic news article about the short one. Sega says it's another IGN article. I just don't want to. Sega says its Crazy Taxi reboot is a AAA game. Sega has labeled its upcoming Crazy Taxi reboot as a AAA game, marking
We love it.
marking it as a part of the company's effort to revive its legacy franchises. The reboot announced alongside the other returning titles like Jet Set Radio, Shinobi, Golden Axe, and Streets of Rage during the Game Awards of 2023. According to Sega's support studio in Sapporo, the studio is involved in the development of AAA titles, including Crazy Taxi, while specific details about the reboot's release window and format are yet to be revealed. This designation suggests that fans can anticipate a significant return for the beloved arcade game.
Were you a Crazy Taxi guy growing up?
I played it.
You like it?
It was okay. I enjoyed killing people in it. Right? You did that? You run people over and stuff?
I don't think I technically died, but yeah, I could run people over. But yeah, they would
like
be dead
flatten out
in
or
real
something,
life.
or- yeah.
I love Crazy Taxi, and I'm really excited for this one. So I'm
AAA,
excited to
baby.
hear, excited to hear that there's a
Get
lot
some-
behind it, not just shitting it out.
Yeah. And then they'll complain about how over budget it is. And
Yeah. Well, I can't imagine Crazy Taxi game's gonna sell great. I feel like
yeah.
it's more of a nostalgia thing. So
Yeah.
probably.
Next category, we got streaming. We just have one article from The Wrap. Comcast, Paramount, in talks to combine streaming platforms. Paramount Global and Comcast are reportedly discussing a potential collaboration in the streaming industry, possibly through a joint venture or partnership. The move could unite the parent companies of NBC and CBS, creating an unprecedented link between the two major television networks. Despite individual strengths in programming, both Paramount's Paramount Plus and Comcast Peacock, or the Cock, as kids call it,
Hell
trail
yeah.
behind major competitors like Netflix, HBO Max, which isn't HBO Max, it's just Max now.
That's true.
Fucking who writes this shit? Hulu and Disney Plus. Combining forces could reduce costs and enhance offerings, especially in live sports content. Oh, they're about to get fucking destroyed if they're not part of the Disney conglomerate that we covered last week, I think.
Probably part of why they're doing it, to combat it.
Yeah. But they got everything on there. What are they going to stream? Like,
Paramount has CBS, so all the NFL games, Super Bowl.
yeah, I guess. But that's all they got. What do they need fucking NBC for then?
Yeah. Well, NBC has a lot of NFL.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Or what's CBS got
In
then?
the Sunday night game, I think. What's CBS got?
Yeah.
They have NFL as well. And the Super Bowl.
They split it?
Yep. And
That's
Fox.
odd. Huh.
And NFL Network and ESPN. And Amazon now.
Nice. Let's split it up some more. I want to subscribe to more online services.
You do?
Yeah.
I'm sure you can do that many more times.
And also, last line is Paramount is reportedly exploring options, including a potential sale, with various suitors expressing interest. I don't like that word, suitors. I don't know why. It makes me uncomfortable.
Do you think they're trying to sell high while Halo's big?
Probably. They're probably trying to ride the Halo hype train
That's what I'm
before the final episode drops and they realize it's a piece of shit.
thinking. Oh, roasted.
I can't wait to get to the things we've been watching because I got a good one, bud.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Is that it for news?
We have one more category, 2 articles in tech.
That's right. Yep.
This one's kind of lame. I don't really give a fuck about, but you put it on there from The Verge. This is the Wall Street Journal one that you gave me, and I was like, I don't even care about this article. If I can't find an article for it, I'm just deleting it. But I found it on The Verge, which was
Thank you
just
so much.
literally it says, maybe the AI deleted it, but it definitely said, according to Wall Street Journal, Walmart is reportedly considering a $2 billion deal to acquire Vizio, a popular TV maker. Yeah. It's pretty much Walmart wants to buy Vizio, and neither have commented on the deal. So it's just hearsay. Anything to say on that one, bud?
I do. I think the AI definitely corrupted it because it doesn't say Bronco Mart.
Yeah.
I thought this was really interesting. I think Vizio is very underrated and hated on.
I don't like them.
I like them.
Really?
Yeah.
They're trash.
I disagree.
I don't
I
actually
do.
know.
Okay. They're not the best TVs, but you hear some real bad things about them. I think, especially for the price, they're good.
They definitely seem like a Bronco Mart brand. I say it and you laugh. I don't say it, you correct me.
And I think I've never heard of a store, especially, I've never heard of it in general, but you think Best Buy or Circuit City or something like that long term would have had that. Something like Bronco Mart buying a TV brand.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
It is odd. They're kind of going out horizontally in their acquisitions.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
Buying the Broncos and then
Yep.
buy Vizio.
And then last article from The Verge. Apple fans are starting to return their Vision Pros. Some early buyers of the Apple Vision Pro, or the AVP as the kids call it, AVP,
Nobody calls it that.
priced at $3,500, are
Which is a
already
deal if you think
expressing
about
dissatisfaction and opting to return the headset. Comfort emerges as a major concern, with reports of headaches, motion sickness,
it. All right.
and discomfort due to the device's weight and front-loaded design. Some users reported physical issues like blood burst vessels in the eyes and redness after using the headset.
It's shocking that you might have redness in your eye when you stare at something this close to your face.
The variability in human body types and preferences complicates the issues of comfort and wearable tech. The factors like nose bridge height affecting fit. Additionally, concerns about the device's productivity relative to its price have been raised, with users finding limitations in tasks like productivity workflows and coding. The lack of compelling killer app is also highlighted as a drawback. It remains to be seen how the vocal subset of dissatisfied early adopters will influence the future of the AVP, or the AVP. Some express interest in a potential second-generation device. It just came out. Why do you already want a second gen? Others emphasize the need for improvement in comfort and software functionality. However, the actual return rate and Apple's internal expectations remain unknown, of course. It's a vocal few. What do you think, bud? Are you getting one tonight?
Yeah, it's on its way.
All right.
I want one of these returns, so I want them to sell it to me new. First off, I want anybody that's listening on podcast, you probably don't understand what Ryan just said, so you should come to YouTube. He did a visual, like when the eyes busted, to show you the face covering. He showed you, so you need the visuals to understand what he's saying.
Yes.
No, I'm not getting one. I'm not an Apple fanboy. I play it up. I'm also not an Apple hater. I think the tech is fucking really cool.
I think you're a fanboy.
I think if you look at it objectively, you would see some of the cool shit that it can do. I think it's also objectively way too fucking expensive. But I also don't think they're really marketing it or expecting normal people to buy it yet.
Yeah.
I think that's why you are laughing at why you're looking forward to the second generation. I'm looking forward not just to that, but multiple generations ahead, because it's way overpriced, but the shit it can do, there's some real futuristic stuff happening in there. But this is the first iteration of it. I mean, if you look at the original iPhone, it's laughable now.
Yeah.
Compared to like even the iPhone 5. So thinking about something that is so much more advanced and futuristic.
When it's a contact you can put in your eye, then I'll be interested.
I'm sure it will be.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That there's no getting around that's too expensive. I also don't think they're marketing it to the mass appeal or the mass market.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that these returns are a factor of some of those things. I also think you're kind of a moron, like I said, if you don't expect some of those things to happen. Obviously not your eyes bursting. I also think it's probably like a red line going through your eye, not what they're saying. I expect
bursting open.
Yeah. Those things are going to happen when you have a screen that close to your face. Same thing if I did with my giant TV right there, if I just stared at it. But I also think the biggest factor is something that I didn't know Apple did with all their products, so you can return it for 14 days with no cost. I almost would have just went and got it and just returned it on the 13th day just to try it for 13 days.
I'd be afraid I'd miss the deadline somehow and then be stuck with a $3,500 paperweight.
No, that's why I didn't really do it, but I mean, generally, I didn't know they did that. That's kind of crazy. That's just a normal thing. So I feel like that's probably where the majority of returns are coming from.
Yeah.
Especially people that just have money to waste, but not enough that they don't care. They want it back. Because that's kind of crazy return policy, and that's why I joked that I just ordered one. And I can't wait to get a return because I feel like some of these are gonna get reboxed and sold as new. That's
Definitely. I mean, otherwise there'd be a lot of waste. I feel like.
yeah.
I'm sure they go through like a refurb process or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all the news.
All right, I got a couple small
Congratulations,
things.
everybody. We made it.
This is another rumor which you like.
I love them.
Respawn. This comes from IGN. Respawn is reportedly in works to make a Mandalorian game, which I fucking hope this is true. Quite a while ago, there's a game that got canceled, Star Wars 1313, which focused on a bounty hunter like Boba Fett,
Like
or
Mandalorian.
and it looked fantastic. And it got canceled when Disney bought Lucas Games. Lucas Arts was making it. Lucas Films, whatever you want. But a demo came out. It's like 10 minutes long and looked fantastic. And that game's never coming out. I think we talked about it here, and I looked it up. A couple years ago, there was a Mandalorian, straight up Mandalorian game that leaked. And it's like a 5-minute demo that looks fantastic. They said it was fake, but I don't know if it was or if it was this. But even if it was fake, that looked like you can make an amazing game out of it. And if
Maybe they said it was fake to try and play it off like, no, we're not ready.
that's possible. I don't know if that video is from Respawn or if people thought of that, but
Yeah.
I'm curious if it was, and even if it's not, it shows the potential of what could be a really cool game. So I hope it happens.
Okay.
We talked about Lara Croft earlier.
We did.
We did. Crystal Dynamics released what she will look like in the next Tomb Raider game. She's going back to more, I think it's a kind of a middle ground of her old look and her new look. It's not ridiculous like PS1 days. I think it looks good. I think it makes sense. I think the reboot Tomb Raiders, that's where I really started loving Tomb Raider. I feel like it would have made the most sense just to have that look and add the old outfit in. And I felt that would have taken less work for them.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll be curious to see what they do with the new Tomb Raider.
So I just Googled Lara Croft to see if I could find the new thing, and on the right,
Oh, God.
there is just random information. One of them is wealth, 1.3 billion. So apparently she is worth 1.3 billion, or
She did have a mansion in the first game, so I guess you gotta be wealthy.
and then there's a tab that says attractiveness. Why is Lara Croft so attractive?
True.
I
She's
won't
very
go into that. Sorry.
It's okay.
That's all I had.
All right, that's all I have for news. We can get into pickups.
Pickups.
What do you got?
Nothing.
All right, I got something. You ready for this?
Yeah.
It's video game related-ish.
Mm.
They're boots,
That's not me.
but the brand is terrible, terrible name. It's called Wolverine. Nothing comes good from that except
Yeah, I don't like their boots. I've tried them.
except claws and boots. No good football teams or sports teams in general.
That's weird. They just won the national championship.
Well, momentarily they did till it's taken away.
Well, they can't take it away
but
now.
They can. They're probably gonna. So get ready for that. That's why everybody from Michigan's leaving. I ordered my Halo Spartan Coven boots. You want to know how much they were?
Let me guess.
Yes.
180.
$190. And I would not even come close to paying that when they were announced. I was like, some of these are kind of cool, but that's fucking idiotic to pay that much.
Mm-hmm.
So I waited till they were on sale for $49.99.
Nice.
I was like, that's not a bad price for boots in general. So I'll just get them and see. But that's my pickups. Besides,
Nice.
when we talked about what we've been playing, which is now. What have you been playing?
Nothing.
What about the Light and Darkness?
I couldn't remember the name of the game.
If only there was a video to remind you.
So, well, I didn't remember where it happened. In the light and the dark. I'll remember now. It's on my list.
All right. Well, I expect it next week, so you said it takes like an hour.
I will. Well, some of those people had 4 hours of playtime, so they really want to get all the achievements.
Anything you've been playing? Nothing. All right. Well, speaking of achievements,
did you win?
Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora. I finished it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of stringing along here.
Yeah.
It's my favorite game from last year that I can remember. I had to look at my list, but it's my favorite game from last year. I had a ton of fun with it. I love Avatar. I think the world of Pandora makes a lot of sense for games. I think this is a game where open world makes sense. Like I said, a lot of games force it in now. I feel like Avatar is natural to have it. Doesn't mean I think it's perfect. There's still a lot of bloat in this game that I think you can get rid of. I think open world missions, I get that you have to do some of that, but I think there's way too many that are not interesting and kind of the repeat, like, go get this and this happens, that kind of normal. I know it's normal, for open world games, but that's why I don't play a lot of them. I think that's also what helped this feel refreshing. I feel like a lot of people play like every open world game and then complain about them, but I don't. I play them here and there, so it's refreshing when I play one. Visually, it's one of the prettiest games I've ever played. There's the more I played it, the more kind of technical issues there was somewhat in jankiness, but overall for a game this big, I mean, usually even the Fallout games, I love them, but that's kind of like a running joke that you're going to be playing a broken game when you play these things. This is seems like it's 10 tiers above that as far as jankiness. So even though it has it, it's definitely a different scale, and I feel like you can also give it a little more credit because Fallout and a lot of these games you're just on foot or maybe like a horse or something. Yeah. But this game you can go aerial, and so you can go fucking crazy in the sky and then come back down. Yeah. So it has to obviously account for a lot more.
You can't have invisible walls that break in the game.
Yeah. I don't know why. I don't really know why it even happened. I didn't notice really any jank until later in the game. I started seeing stuff, and it's kind of like the funny stuff you see in Fallout that didn't really break it. Like people would talk to me and be standing just on beds or
upside down,
dead-eyed,
on the wall.
Not that bad, but that kind of stuff. Where I was like, "Oh, this is kind of funny." Nothing game breaking until the later portion of the game. Still not game breaking, but more annoying things started happening. Like there was this mech that it's just one certain kind of mech, and it definitely doesn't have abilities, or if it does, they don't let you know. So I don't think it's the case. It was just shooting through anything. So I'd be hiding behind cover and just getting killed. And it's not like when people complain in Call of Duty or Halo that somebody shot through a wall and they clearly just shot them and they sucked. And I know there is cheaters, but I would see there was literally no one else around me. Fucking 3 things of environment, and bullets are coming through it, and there's not destructible environment either. So
it's not supposed to happen.
Yeah, it's a little frustrating and made the game a lot harder when I didn't think it was that hard to begin with. The aerial thing as well. This started happening later. I was super impressed. I would go up and then as high as I could and come back down, and everything was loaded in. I was that's fucking nuts. Later in the game, it started like popping more, and kind of what I expected from the beginning. So
I wonder why it got worse.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. I don't know if it's accounting for like the rest of the open world, or maybe it's like loading just the beginning portion, and then I don't know. But overall, really enjoyed it. I finished with 30 of the 31 achievements for 900.
How come you get the last one, bud?
We'll get to that. 964 points. Bazooka finished with 0, so he'll be writing.
Nothing?
0.
Didn't even play the game?
No, didn't even start it.
The fuck?
Dave and Derek finished with 1 achievement for 20 points. And then Cody finished with 30 achievements for 964 points.
So tie.
Yeah, but as we know, ties are the lamest fucking shit in the world, so we don't do that. So
you're going to do a race to get the 31st?
No, we're doing a race. Our tiebreaker is a week time period. We got to set it up. and you get to play any games you want. Whoever has the most achievements overall in that time frame
Lame.
takes it. So
Because somebody could just go through and get some lame games that pump out achievements, and
I mean, you're more of a man if you don't do that. But yeah, hey, that's a strategy.
that's what I would do.
That's why I said it's a strategy.
Is that what you're gonna do?
I think I'm at a little disadvantage when we have somebody that comes on every week and like, here's this stack of games I got. I don't even know what this one is. I have 5 of these. So he has probably a lot more to pick from.
Yeah,
So I feel like I'm already lost, but doesn't mean I'm not going to try.
that's
The
right,
last-
bud.
The last achievement in this game blows. That's why neither of us got it. It's kind of the combination of some of the worst aspects of this game. It's a lot of the fetch quest, a lot of the
I love
you got to
this.
hunt this thing and then get this, and it's like a 40-step process. I started doing it
Yeah.
to try and take the lead. No, this isn't going to happen. There's not enough time. So
How much time do you guys have for your thing?
30
month?
days,
Yeah.
So, and then I was trying, and then Cody messaged me and said, if you want to win this, it's yours, because I'm not trying for this last one. And I was like, oh, no, I got to do it. And I was like, yeah, this isn't realistic, and he's not getting it, so I'll leave it as a tie and not waste all this. And then
You guys should just be co-trophy owners.
No, that's pussy shit.
Can't say that word.
That's pussy shit. It's not often I get every achievement in a game, especially one that's just relatively hard. It's not that much of a challenge, but for me, I play games that are a lot easier to get them normally.
Huh.
So maybe at some point I'll do this dumb quest to get 1,000, but no guarantees. Obviously not for the achievement race. But yeah, so no winner announced yet, but the thing that is announced is Bazooka's a fucking loser.
Okay, but what's the next game that I can jump in on?
We haven't even figured out our tiebreaker yet.
Well, start game storming. Get it?
I got it.
Get it? Game
then,
like brain, but
oh shit.
game.
And besides that, played some more Halo Infinite and work on Operation. And then the only other thing I played was a pickup. It was a digital pickup, NHL 24 on PS5. I already have it on Xbox, and I don't like rebuying. But my friend that only has PlayStation wanted to play it. And even though this is an example of what I talked about, just because Helldivers is crossplay doesn't mean Forever Skies will be, even if it's the same overarching company. Because Madden, FIFA, all of them are crossplay. NHL is not. Even weirder, 2 modes in NHL are crossplay. So it has the capability, but then not
don't.
And not the main
Like
head-to-head.
skirmish.
Yeah. Fucking weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I got it. He even paid for part of it because he wanted to play so bad. So I gotta get it. But it's weird playing sports games on PlayStation because I played sports games on Xbox since late in regular Xbox era. So it's a bit of a change up. I know it's the same general layout, but there's something about your brain not comprehending it. But that's all I've been playing this week. We can talk about what we've been watching. I know you're excited about that.
Yes, sir. All right. I'll start with the lamer ones. Okay. If trailer. You asked me to watch that. I watched it.
You watched it or if?
If Imaginary Friends trailer. It looks okay. It looks like it's gonna be like a good feel-good movie. Still not a fan of the animated. I mean, I'd watch it, but it's not like I'm have to see it kind of thing.
I feel like it's gonna be Pixar in the way that it seems heartwarming, but I feel like it's gonna be a lot deeper than the silly stuff that portrays in the trailer.
Yeah. I also watched the Fallout trailer, and I lied, I had seen it.
Okay.
I love the music in it. It's so good. It looks like it could have a lot of potential. Hopefully it doesn't pull a Lord of the Rings. I heard that was a shit show. I didn't watch it, but
I don't think it's as bad as people make it out to be, but I definitely don't think it's nearly as good as the people that loved it were saying it was either.
Yeah.
It was okay.
But definitely. I think we should do a watch party.
That's the plan, so yeah, I'm here for it. Yeah, I think it has tons of potential. I've talked about it on here, so I won't go on.
Yeah.
The music's one of the best parts. I'm worried that might not be a mainstay in the game or the show.
Better be.
Especially because of licensing and how much
Better
it costs.
Be like
so I don't think
90%
so.
just like cinematic, like just shots of them going across, traveling through the Fallout world with this dope music.
Like I said, I would love it. That's one of my favorite parts about Fallout. And
Yeah.
I hope so, but I feel like it's probably not going to be the case. What about, could we get some cinematic shots of
No.
Ella? Okay.
Who?
Ella Purnell, the main girl in it. Could we get some cinematic shots of her just going across?
And then the last thing I was excited about
Yeah.
is so my brother, he was talking to me about some stuff, and he's like, "Oh, have you seen the show The Bear?
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard about this one?"
No, but it's weird he said this in my mind. I was like, Brian's going to say how great the show is, and I haven't seen it, but
That's so good.
yeah, I don't know. There's some reason I knew you were going to love it. I haven't seen it myself.
Why?
I don't know.
Huh.
I'm not even against it. I haven't started.
It's just
Could be
really good, I think. There's some parts that are a little artsy.
Yeah,
but
I'm a fan of that normally.
You know, I've laughed, I've cried, just had a good old time. Very it's very good. I'd highly recommend you check it out.
Okay.
For those of you who don't know what it is, I believe it FX. It's on FX.
Mm-hmm.
It's got 2 seasons, 10 episodes each. It's about like a Michelin star chef who ends up coming back to Chicago to run his deceased brother's restaurant. It's like a little mom and pop beef sandwich shop that's been around in the neighborhood for a long time. You know, kind of rough neighborhood in Chicago. And it's just like his struggles on like trying to turn, you know, it's got, I don't know, I think all the characters in it are really good. Like everybody in it that's got their own like little personal story arc that's actually interesting. Highly recommend it. Very good.
I mean, I'll check it out. Like I said, I wasn't against it.
Yeah.
I just wanted to
I
see
never
how to
heard
start it.
I never heard about it until my brother said something, so that's about it as far as what I've been watching.
All right. First off, thanks for watching trailers. I'm sad
Mhm.
If isn't higher for you, but hope it'll be different when it comes out.
Mm-hmm.
The main actor in The Bear, somebody else said this, but they couldn't be more right.
Mm-hmm.
That's the dude that should have played, I think I may have talked about with Cody. That's the dude that should have played Willy Wonka. He looks just like Gene Wilder. When
Yeah,
somebody
he had
said
longer
that,
hair, yeah.
I was like, Jesus, that is.
That's one thing I hate about him actually is his hair.
Yeah.
It's like they nail the like disheveled, barely slept, not had time to get a shower chef too well. Like his hair is just like constantly like greasy, like floppy mess.
Mm-hmm.
And just I don't know, something about it like grosses me out.
I feel you.
Like, you need to wash it. Please wash your hair.
I can relate. I feel you.
Yeah.
I feel like you're talking to me now.
No. You're fine, bud.
Okay. It's been probably a couple months. Nothing else though?
No.
Well, I saw. You're not the only one that likes Bear. People are raving about it.
The
But
Bear?
I saw. Yeah.
Oh.
Is that what you said?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. People are raving about it. People love that show. But I saw something much higher quality than that
Mm-hmm.
called Madam Web.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Marvel movie, not even part of MCU. And it fucking blows.
It's got a 13% on Rotten Tomatoes. Holy shit.
It's bad. The main thing I was hearing is that the actors didn't care about the movie, and you could tell, and the special effects were horrendous.
Uh-huh.
And I know a lot of people hate on non-MCU movies, even if they're Marvel, because they're not part of it, and DC. So I just really like checking them out. I think Suicide Squad, like I said, is fantastic. I think Wonder Woman's good. You want to say something?
One of the critics, I almost admire the sheer lack of effort on display in the acting.
Yeah, see. I think Peacemaker's fantastic show. I think Venom's even good, and that movie got destroyed. So I was like, I'll see this one. I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of those movies I had hope for. Seeing these trailers, I was like, this doesn't look good. I don't care what other people say. I was like, this just doesn't look very good. Let me try and find something. Well, I guess I'll finish my thoughts on it. I love Spider-Man. This is part of the Spider-Man universe.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I have an AMC membership, so it doesn't cost me anything. I like seeing movies. I wanted to see for myself, even though even I didn't think it looked good, and it was not good. Like I said, I don't know if it was the actors not caring and or the script being horrendous, the screenplay. because the cast is pretty good. I've seen some of these people be great actors. Um, Adam Scott from Severance,
Mm-hmm.
Mark S. is in this, and even the actors are great or not good. So I don't think it's
the writing and directing.
yeah, I don't think it's an acting thing unless they really didn't care. But the main girl, the Madam Web, she's the only one that I feel like might have not put effort in, and
Well, if she's the main actor, it's not good.
let me look up something. She's Bud. You
Sorry.
danged it.
Sorry. Here's another good one.
Okay.
The entire film seems like one long, tiresome setup for a sequel, a goal that is sadly, but perhaps fortunately for viewers, out of its reach.
You got any more? People are really destroying this movie, like I said. So
Here's
probably
a good review. If
Okay.
you feel worn out and weary of another superhero movie, give Madam Web a shot.
There you go.
So you say it breaks the mold of your typical superhero films?
Yeah, but not in any of the good ways. I said there have been movies that have done that. I didn't verify this, but Dakota Johnson, the main actress in Madam Web, I knew this would be right up Cody's alley. Like I said, I had to verify if this is true. But at a press junket, somebody asked her to name the three Tom Holland Spider-Man movies, which definitely seems like something a nerd could say to an attractive girl.
Yeah.
Be like, let's test it.
Yeah.
And she supposedly said, I hope this is true. I felt like I said this would be right up
You
Cody's
haven't seen
alley.
it?
Her saying it, you mean?
Yeah.
No, it's just a
just
post.
quote. Okay.
But it sounds like something she could say and think she's being playful, but know in her head that she doesn't care at all.
Yeah.
She said, Spider-Man, here he comes. Spider-Man, and he's back. And then the Goblet of Spider-Man. And then underneath it says, you got to love her commitment to the bit of giving zero fuck about any of this. And like I said, seeing some of her acting, that makes it more believable.
Yeah.
She's been a good actress, so I feel like she it might have been intentional. She's like, this fucking sucks. These people don't care about this. I'm not going to put all my effort in.
Yeah.
So I'll try and verify if that's true, but I thought that was funny. I know Cody loves one, especially when people do that with Marvel stuff.
Yeah. Spider-Man considered Marvel?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Something on by Sony?
Yeah, that's why there's so much Spider-Man stuff that is not part of the MCU. They only joined it. They signed a deal with the Tom Holland movies. That's when he came to MCU.
Yeah.
Huh?
None.
I think the only redeeming things about this movie is the main bad guy. I can't even tell you his name. That's how I don't even know what to tell you. He looks like a really badass Spider-Man. And then this could be, I'll give it the benefit of the doubt, potentially, I don't know the Madam Web lore. I know Spider-Man well. But I don't know if this guy doesn't have webs or if this movie is so fucking cheap because he was like Spider-Man but didn't have webs. So he just ran and jumped everywhere. This is real awkward. Like I said, maybe you never see him get bit by a spider, so maybe that's actually part of it. Maybe he's not a Spider-Man, he just looks like it. But even if that is the case, it was awkward to watch. But his outfit was cool. That was redeeming. The special effects, I'm not a whore for special effects, so maybe they were terrible. But for how people were reacting, I was like, these seem perfectly fine. Maybe it's because the rest of the movie is so bad that even okay special effects didn't bother me. And I think the bigger thing is there wasn't much special effects. Like I said, he didn't have webs that they had to use special effects for. So I feel like that helped to not have much to begin with. And then the other redeeming thing is beautiful cast. The main actress, and then Sydney Sweeney, one of the hottest girls ever, is in it. But even in this movie, spoilers for this movie, by the way. I don't think anybody cares. But even in this movie, they put her in like a schoolgirl outfit, which, yeah, is sexy in your mind. But then she has a lot of assets, and they hide all of them somehow, which almost isn't possible, and give her this weird hairdo. And you could look her up in the movie if you want. It looks real awkward. And I think it's that these three girls are supposed to be young high schoolers in their mid-20s in real life. So it comes off real awkward.
I always love that.
And this is a spoiler if you care about Madam Web.
I don't care.
I knew you could care less, but I doubt anybody listening could. But all the trailers showed all these hot girls in their outfits and looking real superhero-y. they are in their outfits for 2 what appears to be flash forwards, and then 5 seconds of the end of the movie. The rest of the time, they're just in normal clothing. And I was like, are you fucking shitting me? And then her outfit, aside from this awkward-looking mask they did, is super sexy, but even aside from the sexy stuff, I was like, this just seems like you guys just put random people on a set and like, you're in a Marvel movie, better act like it. But they didn't give them anything to work with. One of the girls is Isabella Merced, which she's going to be playing Diane in The Last of Us Season 2. Me and Cody talked about it, and I said, I know people praise her, and she's very attractive, but I've never seen her in anything. I feel like it's a little hard to judge from this, because like I said, I don't think they have much to work with, but she didn't seem terrible, so I feel like that's probably a good sign if you don't seem terrible in this mess of a movie.
Yeah.
So definitely see Madam Web if you haven't checked it out.
All right, I'll definitely check it out.
The only other things I've been watching is a movie called Meet Cute. It's a Redbox Entertainment movie, which I didn't know they made movies. Danielle wanted to watch for Valentine's Day. You expected a normal chick flick. It appears like that, but it's pretty dark. It's you might like it. Very weird. I'd say it's okay. I'm trying not to give it away because I feel like telling the story would give it away, but she kind of has 51st date syndrome in reverse, so she remembers everything and keeps reliving the same day, but the guy thinks it's new every time. And then you're trying to figure out what's happening and why it's happening. And
yeah,
like I said, from there, there's kind of spoilers, but it was okay. And then besides that, the only other thing was, besides sports, of course, as always, was watching Halo with the group last week. And
you'll see all about that in the upcoming Halo episode.
hell yeah, buddy. And that's all for me this week. You been listening or reading any books?
No, sir. I don't believe in reading.
Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah, brother.
That's why I only listen to mine. I finished Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, book 6.
Harry Potter.
Oh, hell yeah. Let's get your best Dobby.
I don't know that one yet.
Yeah, you'll watch him before next episode.
Dobby.
There we go. You got it.
Is that it?
Yeah.
I got it.
Hell yeah. So I only have one Harry Potter book left. And I'll be done. My
There's
plan.
7?
Yeah.
I thought there was more than that.
There's more movies. What you might be
Well,
thinking.
no, I
the
thought
last
like
one.
they like added more stuff to them about
There's
being gay or
spin-offs and
something.
shit, but mainline Harry Potter was 7.
That's
My plan was, since I never read the books and I've seen the movie so many times, read a book, watch the movie, because everybody complains about how the books are nothing like the movie. And I watched the first movie and haven't watched any of the others. So
really?
I have many times, but I'm saying for this project of.
Okay.
So I might at least force myself before I listen to the last book to at least watch all the other ones, even though I want to do it one by one. So
you failed that already.
Yes, big time.
Mission failed.
Hell yes.
We'll get them next time.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Anything else you want to talk about before we wrap this up here?
Not that I can think. I just kind of want to go upstairs and try another brownie to see if it got any better.
Your high wearing off?
High?
Yeah, from the pot. The
Yes.
cocoa, sorry.
The cocoa?
Are you in love with the cocoa? Is that yes?
What does that mean? Not
Guys,
familiar.
Let Ryan know in the comments what being in love with the cocoa means.
I don't think that's a thing.
I think it definitely is a thing. Did you try and Google it? Is it a thing?
It's a music video called Coco. I'm
Like
in
the
love
movie
with
with
the
the-
Coco.
Yeah.
I got it in the low. Is this it? Got it. This is what?
Nothing.
Don't-
That's a good point to wrap it up.
Hit my plug. That's my cholo.
Hell yeah, buddy. Don't forget, you can
Oh,
send
yeah.
any corrections, questions, or feedback to currentbackloggers@gmail.com. Make sure to share this. Subscribe if you haven't already. Come on. Give us some likes. Let's get that last video, episode 93.
Up to 980 likes.
980 likes.
And I might do an episode of things you shouldn't admit.
Things we shouldn't admit, and he did commit to, and we have that on video. So he will follow through with that, and you guys can
I have
back me
signed
up
no
on that.
legal documentation. weeble wobble woo. Casey Pew.